We are going live. We are going live. I need some audio. 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 Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Here we go. We are live. Welcome to the Crow's Take channel. It's another slop stream and we fucking love them, don't we, people? I haven't done one. I've missed one since last Wednesday. I was away for the weekend, so I couldn't catch up on the shitty slop, the fucking mud that gets in you on Sunday. So here we are, we're a week behind, we're catching up, got a few updates on a few things. We're going to try our best to just get into it, not fuck around. We've got a lot to watch, a lot on the agenda. Whew, a few follow-ups, slowly getting over my cold. Here we are, we have shit to watch. We're just going to get right into it. I'm watching all these on 1.25 speed. I don't have time to sit here and watch all these videos on 1 speed. If you like it, sub if you want to sub. First on the topic today, and I'll just have to test the audio, is we have a response from Brad Taste in Music. Internetverse has came out with another video on my last VOD or last live stream. We covered Brad Taste in Music. Also uploaded my own little video based on this with some edits. So we left off with just finding out who Brad Taste in Music is and what kind of, let's just say, a piece of shit, really narcissistic, abusive person, right? And he fell down the rabbit hole and he got caught. He got caught by the legs. His ex-girlfriend now recorded him, which was fine. With one-party consent laws where they live, recorded his abuse, and we got to hear that. It was pretty confronting. All right, let's not make light of it. If you've been in those situations, you don't know how to act. It's like a fight or flight response. Unless you're in that situation, you'll never know. So we've left off. Really, we found out he's just a narcissistic abusing person who is just gone down the bad road, chosen the bad road in life, the bad path. That's what he's chosen to do. We'll see what his follow up is with after these confronting audio clips came out, and see what. I haven't watched this, so it'll be interesting to see the update myself, because I definitely am not a fan on him. So Internetverse, I always put all my links of sources in the description, which I think is important. I'm trying to find OG clips from people when they watch things. You want to go watch that video. People don't put enough of their sources in. They just watch it like me and don't link it or anything. But I really try to keep to the original source, because researching videos and stuff, it's hard to find original clips myself. So if I'm watching something and he's watching a video, I want to know where that's from. Source keeping's fine. So everything I watch, I will always put the links of where I've gotten it in the original description, and I do timestamps afterwards. So let's just get into it. If you don't know what this is just Stream Wednesday and Sunday. I don't have set time, unfortunately, at the moment. It just depends with work and whatnot when I can hop on. We just talk about the drama events, sometimes serious, sometimes a bit of a laugh. When it's serious, it's serious. Not all slop drama commentary is, pig rig, as IDub says. We just like to belong in the mud and wrestle and belong in pig shit, but it's not always that. I don't have time to make lengthy videos on all this, unfortunately. I just like to hop on live and watch videos and talk and give my input and maybe upload a snippets or highlights here and there. Okay, we're just going to get into it because I wasted enough time.
YouTuber Brad Taste in Music has continued to develop, with Brad putting out yet another video response that was quickly deleted, and then in a turn of events asked live streamer Destiny if he could show up in his platform for an interview.
Brad Taste in Music is not a reliable person. He's obviously got something mentally deep going on with him, alright? He's very up and down. He is sorry, then not sorry. He upload things. Then he gets rid of it. He's got his problems. But that's not discounting anything he's done.
After a clip of Destiny defending Brad against Tina went viral. Tina also made multiple appearances on other shows, such as a 1.5-hour interview with another commentator, and dropped a Google Doc of all the things she had to manage for Brad's day-to-day life. There is also text revealed where in them Tina says that Brad once paid $4,000 for
There's going to be a lot in this. A lot has come through.
If you've missed the first two
There's
parts
a lot of
updates in
updates.
the description, but it starts, of course, when Brad uploads his other apology video. However, this one was deleted even quicker than the last ones that we've already covered, and Nicholas Yorio responds to this by saying, I don't think Brad Taste understands how close he is to a complete and total career redemption. It's just one or two more unscripted OBS recording videos away. And Player replies, I think he's one freestyle away. Let the music
in the
set
last
you free,
video,
Brad. And just so you can
if you haven't seen it, go back to my live stream or look at internet versus previous videos. He wrote like a 50-minute freestyle. It is just cooked. Nothing else to describe it as but cooked. Like literally cooked.
See the video yourself.
Just as cooked.
It's only just about 2 minutes, so we're just going to let it play. Here is Brad's response.
Okay, so this is here. This is important.
This is over now. I have nothing else to say. I want to actually thank Tina for sharing the video.
Okay. Whenever they begin with thanking the person for releasing the most devastating thing on their career, it never goes well. What happens afterwards, it never does. Brad Taste, why are you going to thank someone for putting out stuff that makes you look absolutely horrible? Let's see what I'm not saying I know what he's going to say. I haven't watched this video, haven't watched his response, but in history, it hasn't gone down well. And I'm pretty sure this is deleted.
See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. I'm younger than her. And I never really had a strong foundation, like at home. And when I went to go live with...
So we have not strong foundation, okay, at home, right? And then you're younger than her. So 2 excuses already.
Her. She thought very differently than I did on a lot of things.
You can come up with context or excuses, but you have to apologize first. We can't get 30 seconds and 2 minutes into a video, Brad, and have no apology. Just get over and done with and then talk your shit.
And
I'm the apology guru.
A lot of the time, I would blame her for things that are her fault.
Okay, accountability. Fair enough.
And I truly believe I didn't know any better. And that's what's so scary about it. I keep trying to fix stuff, but I'm just like not as aware of things as other people. And I get shit wrong, and I think I'm doing a good thing, and I end up really
Look, that doesn't... Everyone does things wrong. You haven't what was in the audio clips is not you thinking you know what you're doing is right. I'm sorry. Where's this
really
going,
hurting
Brad?
someone.
Brad.
And I
Brad,
think that
where's
I'm
this
going to
going?
be using electronic devices like significantly less. You know, like this forced me offline and helped me.
One of
finally
these
break out of this, like,
apologies.
awful cycle that like getting a YouTube channel at like 17 years old and then becoming like really big, like that like,
Really
fucks
big.
with your head and your ego.
No, one, he wasn't really that big, no offense, Brad, but it's just not an excuse. A lot of other people goes down the same thing. It can fuck with your head, I can understand that. But the problem is acknowledging that that's not an excuse, I think, in my opinion.
She was a victim of that, absolutely. And right now, she is getting
Look
the
at us in the
support that
camera,
she
bro.
deserves. And again, if you're just hate watching this, she is in a horrible situation right now.
Hey, Lizzie's
She can't catch a break.
kind of awake right now.
And I hate that I'm contributing to that. I've calmed down a little bit.
I think she's probably got a lot of support. You know, I don't really understand what he's going on about in that side of things.
Yeah, and what I felt
It's
during
just,
that time period was real.
look, I'm never saying you should apologize. You should script an apology. But for some people, they really do need to script something. You know, one of his biggest thing is just coming on and hitting record like everyone, like the Pope says, you know. One OBS fucking unscripted video away from coming back.
The pain I felt was real, but I misguided it towards her. And she has every right to feel as hurt as she does.
Not great, but
has every right
better
to
than what I
piss off
thought.
at me as they are.
Okay.
I will do better. Goodbye.
Crunchtopia tweets out this picture with
Oh, okay, that was it. All right. I thought there would be more. I would think having that kind of audio released on you would make you have a better apology than that, and in that you're in the frame of mind that you think you're coming back from this. Yeah, a lot of people aren't really cancelable, but when you're like a kind of a small YouTuber, you can be pretty cancelled off the internet.
the caption.
Like, from this point of view, it's just hate watchers now, right? That's your audience. Hate watchers.
TLDR.
How
New
lovely.
Brad Taste video.
How
This is
great.
fact.
How
90% of
fantastic.
YouTubers in
Fucking
controversy quit
hate
right
watchers.
before they're about to upload the video that will explain everything. Then back over to Twitter, where we left off the last part of this video, where Tina said she found in kitchen in response to
Destiny, yeah.
defending Brad Taste and music.
Destiny, man.
quote tweeted Tina and said, "White women like this are concentrated poison in online communities." Eve replies to Destiny by saying, "You are such a fucking loser,
Oh,
man."
Destiny.
Eli says, "You mean white women who won't sit there quietly and accept abuse, right? No wonder that's an issue for you." And Pokemon replies to Destiny by saying, "White people be like, white people be like." And Juicy Toot says, "But they the white people then be like." Then Destiny Updates tweets out that live at 2 p.m.
Oh, he
EST,
chatting
with Brad Taste
Did
at 4
Destiny-
EST.
I don't think that
And
planned
Nicholas
out.
Screenshots this and says, "What the fuck?"
I don't think
And
that
Ryan
went
Beard
when it-
replies, "Finally, the one thing Brad needs to rehabilitate his
Destiny.
image." Big
Get on
Nick
kick,
says,
brother.
"It was either this or another
Get on
freestyle diss
kick.
track." Advance OK also posted this
Nah,
tweet
it
on
never
Brad Taste Music
happened, sure.
subreddit. And Sky
Right.
Magica says, "Gaining Destiny is objectively worse than losing Hive Mind." And Fun Veterinarian says, "Nothing, and I mean nothing, is worse than losing Hive Mind." And Dume says, "Bro cries about Tina getting heckled and then does this. Oh my fucking god." And
Destiny's
Xander
a
says he's off his rocker.
fucking-
Then the gnomes post the full 25-minute conversation on the Dalaban. And obviously we can't play this
Do I
entire
go-
thing. It'll be linked in
go
the
in
description
deep?
if you want to watch.
Destiny, look, I know I say good people can have bad takes, bad people can have good takes and whatnot and that bullshit, but Destiny just... The thing is, it's hard to say, but sometimes he does have good points. But, yeah, he's a fucked up person. He's just always choosing the wrong path, and he's a fuckwit. He's a fucking sex pest, to be honest, isn't he? However you feel, look, he can have some good takes. Yeah, still, he's a fuckwit. I'm
But
sorry.
a couple clips from the conversation made rounds, such as this one that Weird Fishes Are Peggy posts with the caption,
It's
"The
just
situation
too
ended up so good
edgy.
for her."
My ex
Edgy
now is
and
like the
Just
situation
weird.
ended up
Just
really
too
good
edgy,
for
bro.
her. Like so good
Like
for her
cringe
that, like,
edgy.
I finally felt like, you know, through the destruction of my image and my channel,
Yeah,
she
brother.
got like compensation for the pain that she felt.
And Dating Understander
that's
says,
what are we
it's crazy
talking
how
about?
much the guy I robbed and ran over benefited after the police caught me and people felt bad for him. Shaking my head. And Surfer replies, the guy got Medicare that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise. IK replies to the clip by saying, I mean, he's not wrong. Dumping his abusive ass was good for her. And Candela Villain replies, sadly, it was him that broke up with her. And Tina comes in the thread and says,
Ooh,
that's
Tina's
not true.
coming
I broke
back.
up with him after the arrest.
Top
Dumped his ass and
1%.
also rejected his pleas to get me back over the past year. And Tinbone says, did you ever scream at him?
Oh
and
my
Raven One
God.
replies, what kind of question is this? And Tinbone says, huh?
Reddit,
This is the
bro.
did you two ever yell at each other question. Are you serious? Entire Lemon says, Brad is one
Reddit,
of those rare
gotcha
cases where I can't
moments.
find a shred of compassion for him. He is a textboook manipulative person. He can only blame himself for
Entire
all of
Lemon,
this.
go
But the
at
thing
it,
is,
brother.
he won't. He can't. He lacks the ability
Yeah, these
to.
people
As someone who
just
stopped watching
can't,
months
can
before
they?
the Ethan crash out, it's been crazy seeing these updates.
They take drip feeding. It's just very drip feeding kind of taking accountability. Just a little pipette, just slowly, just drip feeding accountability through it.
I stopped watching his streams because he seemed like he was getting extremely entitled and arrogant once he started making good money. I had no idea he was also extremely abusive, delusional, and this out of touch with reality. I would be terrified if I found out I lacked self-awareness to even a fraction of the level of Brad.
Yeah,
Intelligence
well,
Flow
that's
replies,
right.
This is what
I
makes me
mean,
question
it's
myself
game
and
over,
others
Brad.
that still stuck
Game
around.
over.
The top concern posted on the
Goodbye.
Brad Tasting Music subreddit to the Brad/Destiny Talk mega thread, and Spice Beagle says, I couldn't watch it honestly
Goodbye.
beyond the first 4 or 5
Goodbye,
minutes.
Brad.
This is so pathetic and awkward of Brad to feel the need to jump on a trash bag stream
Oh
and say
my
stuff when he
God.
repeatedly said he's going to go
Why
offline.
did you go to
Like, Jesus
Destiny?
fuck, stop with this already. The way he
To
was letting
everyone
Destiny
you go
commit him
to,
was so
you choose
cringe.
Destiny
Also,
as
what the
your
fuck was the point of it
fucking
even?
savior.
Destiny even said, like, bro, why did you want to be here? So it was Brad who asked Destiny. And that is just so blah. And
Brad's
SHI replies with this
cooked,
saying,
bro.
who the fuck are you? I thought I hired a therapist. And it's Destiny being the rapist instead of therapist. Substance also posted a
Oh
brief
my
summary about the
God.
conversation on Twitter when they say, it's so funny to see Brad Taste undercut Destiny's pro-abuser/avoid accountability narrative he was hoping to push in their convo. Brad does so by continuing to hammer down the points that he should be held accountable and accepting his
Yes.
image is tainted and that his statements wouldn't suffice in changing that. nor
No,
would it fix
Destiny
what he put
doesn't
his ex
believe in
through.
that at
Destiny's
all.
post comments on the conversation. Don't know what he was looking to get out of that. Seems like he internalized a lot of the bad stuff on the internet about him. Tina also went
Yes,
on another commentator's live
because
stream.
everything that's bad on the internet is false. Hey,
gaming,
Destiny.
And they had an hour and a half long interview. It'll
Hey,
be
what's this say, Bradley? You're fucking not, and I'm not going to take you lying to me anymore. That's what you actually care about. I'm done with your lies. If you don't mind dealing with the cops, then that's fine, I guess. Okay, taking my shit and leaving, selfish bitch. Glad you enjoy your free fucking Airbnb and free everything else. I'm saying the host of the Airbnb might call the cops on us if there's yelling.
in the description if you're curious to check out the whole thing. But Liam summarizes the live stream on the
Ooh.
Brad Tasting Music subreddit, titling A Summary of Important
notes points from Tina's interview with Purple Parry Gaming. Yeah, really, I don't like when these people pop on random people's streams to talk. It needs to be more, I don't know, it's just more professional. I don't know, I'm too professional. I wouldn't just be popping on some dude's stream talking about all this. Says the recorded incident was the most scared she ever was. Brad was screaming 1 inch from her face. He was so close he was literally spitting on her. God, that would have been damning having video instead of audio. Says Brad was violent at times, just not towards her, punching holes in walls. Okay, Kyle. And he broke the bathroom door in their first apartment. She says she doesn't remember what the thud was in the audio of him abusing her. Says when he was on weed, he would have more trouble controlling his emotions. He had similar outbursts to one shared back in 2021 when he was on weed. Yeah, look, he's fucking... It's addiction, right? Even if it's weed, you can still get addicted on weed. And sometimes we can make... if you're more prone to certain mental health disorders, weed can make it worse. It's in the literature, not making it up. Brad quit weed in August 2021. When Brad was not on weed, there was not as many explosive moments, but there's still emotional abuse. Okay, so the two different defining moments. So you can't blame the addiction on everything. That would probably be the underlying mental illness. Tina said if she told Brad he hurt her feelings, it would get projected back onto her, and she would have to apologize in order to de-escalate. Oh my god, this is giving me flashbacks. Brad returned to using weed in 2024. Brad wanted to smoke with Tina and her friends when they were in LA for the H3 show. Huh. Oh, yeah. Tina checked in on Brad several times and he seemed to be okay at first. When the H3 stuff happened, Brad became addicted to weed again. These people will always go back to addiction. I've seen it with some friends. It never leaves them. They find something else eventually and just replace it. Anyway, let's keep going.
Points from Tina's interview with Purple Perry Gaming, and it starts,
A person that's addicted will always be addicted to something, whatever, even if it's health and fitness or drinking water. It's just always present in some way and always will be. I'm sorry. I don't think people can really fight addiction. They just replace it with something else, and hopefully that addiction's a bit better. And the other one.
In August of 2021, when Brad was not on weed, there were not as many explosive moments, but there was still some emotional abuse. Tina said if she told Brad he hurt her feelings, it would get projected back.
Look, I'm going in with this with fuck Brad and taste in music. I'm sorry.
2024. Brad wanted to smoke with Tina and her friends when they were in LA for the H3 show.
If he had done a proper apology, maybe, and he needs proper help, like he does, he needs anger management or something.
Every day from early July when they returned from LA to August 31st, 2024 when he was arrested. Tina claims she had to do
there's more?
Every trip they went, she
Oh my god. Well, yeah. He's just one. He's a fucking loser.
At one point as a medical assistant and would come home with the house a mess. And Brad had been playing video games or high all day, so
she has fibromyalgia.
She has fibromyalgia, a chronic
so many
pain
people
condition.
start having that.
So whenever Brad was abusing her or spiraling, it would also cause her to have severe
I don't know.
pain.
That's a hard chronic pain condition to handle with.
And that she was making far less than him. Tina basically set up everything for Brad as far as equipment, managed his finance and PR. Brad would literally text her and for her to
the girl quitting your job.
Brad couldn't maintain relationships with anyone. He wouldn't respond to people, so Tina was his only support. She was basically doing everything with
That's
Brad
what he
only
wanted
just
all the
doing
beginning.
Out of the $5K she was paid a month, $1 billion to taxes,
Oh
$700
shit, $5K a month of him.
Rent, also health insurance, car payments, car
insurance. She got paid
Basically,
$5K a month from Brad.
A lot to stay at home. She was doing everything for Brad but wipe his ass, all while paying her own bills and having a chronic illness. Tina says she never smoked weed around Brad or kept weed in the house when Brad was clean. The only time she was smoking weed while being paid $5K was July to August 2024 to cope with the abuse when Brad had begun using again. Tina says she
don't
has
want
a
to live someone like this.
In 2021 of interrogating her in her own bed when it was high.
Jesus.
Felt like she had to do everything to protect Brad's career.
I mean, is it interrogating or just a talk? I don't know.
Brad didn't fully understand the power
need to
that he
release
had,
these to really understand.
It wasn't just him that would be wrecked. The dogs were terrified when Brad was yelling, and even now they get fearful of loud
Yeah,
noise.
that's fair enough.
She has around 10 recordings of Brad's emotional abuse, the earliest being December of 2020. She says she locked herself in the office after the incident of Brad yelling and was scared for her life. She then
he's a piece of shit, really.
Who was somewhat nonchalant
I'm
about
surprised
it.
they stay together so
Came
long.
and picked her up. She shared it with one or two of her closest friends later, and nobody at Hive Mind.
This would just
She
be
shared
so
with her and Brad's mother as a
tiring
plea for help.
to do
Says
this
that she did not have
for
anything to do with
5
getting close to
years.
Brad's channel, that she believes that some former moderators
Wouldn't you be
still have
fucking
moderator
sick
access
of
to the
this?
channel and posted it. Tina says she did not want to release the audio, but whenever Brad uploaded a new video, it would derail her life for several days, so she had no choice. Brad would message Tina
This
after
would
they broke
make me
up,
so
sometimes asking for her
tired
back,
and
flip-flopping
sick.
between apologetic for everything he put her through to being upset with her. The last time he contacted
God
her was August
damn.
1st, 2025, and he sent this weird message that he would never give up on her, that he doesn't need her to solve anything for him, and he can give her a comfortable,
never
quiet
give up.
life, and that to contact
Never.
him if she wants to go back. Yikes. Tina didn't respond to it. The audio that we heard was not from the same day Brad was arrested. Tina's mom
Okay.
picked her up after that. Brad called the police that
Fair
night,
enough.
and he talked to them at the apartment. She came home 24 hours later at night to pick up some stuff and fell asleep on the couch. She woke up in the morning and Brad
Jesus.
told her he was going to be
This is
streaming
good
and wouldn't leave her
retelling of
alone. She was on
events.
the phone with her mom, who was asking when Brad's mom was coming. Tina was saying that she needed someone to step because it was really bad. Brad was apparently listening through the office door and busted in and started screaming at her. Tina put her mom on speakerphone and Brad started screaming at her.
Please
too.
be it.
Brad cornered her, screaming at her,
Oh.
causing her to run.
More. Brad, this is a lot for 5 years of relationship to have all these notes on you. I'm getting tired. Oh. There was a 72-hour restraining order between them. In this time, Tina decided to go to Detroit temporarily so Brad's mum could come and Brad could pack up and leave. Then she could return back up to pick her stuff up. Oh my god, there's too much. July 2024, Brad and Tina went to visit some friends in Detroit. On the way, they were... Brad was spiraling about something, and this was when Tina tried to confront him, and he threw her hand off him. This is so bad. He also screamed at her about the fact that she was on her phone when she was just trying to look up the directions of the Airbnb. Brad yelled at her in front of their friends in Detroit. This is an incident. But yeah, he's a fucking asshole. He's an arsehole.
And close the door and call 911. This is what led to Brad.
He's just an arsehole.
When Brad ended that
We
stream
all
saying
know
he
that.
wasn't safe in his own home, it was because the police were literally in the apartments. The police said Brad was also claiming to be the victim, so Tina played them the audio of Brad yelling from 2 days prior. There was a 72-hour restraining order between them. In this time, Tina decided to go to Detroit temporarily so Brad's mom could come and Brad could pack up and leave. And then she returned to pack up the rest of her stuff and permanently moved
When
to
he got
Detroit.
back in the car, he
Around
yelled
July
at Tina for
2024,
letting him
Brad
buy
and
the
Tina went to visit some
weed.
friends in Detroit.
Tina
On the way
has a
there, Brad was
recording
spiraling
of
about
this.
something, and this was when Tina tried to
Brad
comfort him
showed
and he
Tina
threw
a
her hand
text
off
from
him.
his
He also screamed
ex-girlfriend
at her
accusing
about
him
the
of being
fact that she was
nasty.
on her phone when she was just trying to look up the directions to
This
the
is
Airbnb.
too
Tina said she has a recording of this. Brad yelled at her in front of their friends
bro.
in Detroit. This and the incident with the Airbnb showing the
Tiring,
text caused
bro.
Tina to stay with her friend for a couple days, who was also the first person to tell her what Brad was doing was
Fuck
abuse.
being in this
During
life.
the Airbnb incident, Brad misheard something Tina said and started screaming, calling her a bitch. He went outside and threw her suitcase on the lawn and drove away. The screaming was so bad the Airbnb, who was downstairs, messaged Tina to ask if they were
Oh,
okay.
shit.
When they went back to Wisconsin, Brad bought $600 of
This-
weed before
oh
crossing
my
the border.
God.
Weed is illegal in
The
Wisconsin.
scream was
When
so
he got
bad
back
the
in the car,
AMB
he
who
yelled at
was
Tina for letting him
downstairs
buy the
messaged
weed.
them.
Tina has a recording of this. Brad showed
You
Tina
need
a
to get
text from
fucking
his
life if
ex-girlfriend
that
accusing him
happens.
of being narcissistic and abusive.
I have no
Feel free to add
sympathy
anything if I
for
missed any
Brad.
important. All the love to Tina. This seems like a genuinely hell to live with.
This has got
Rich
nothing to do with
Knight replies,
YouTube.
One of the craziest parts in my
Just remember, this has nothing. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with YouTube or fame. Doesn't.
opinion is that he just kept wanting to stream like nothing
You can
happened. Even
you can say, yeah, the YouTube and fame and the money made him buy weed and shit, and yeah, even off the weed he was supposedly emotional abuser. So
that shitty freestyle rap thing he made, he wanted to like play it off as just a little thing that he could just swerve around. Fucking gross. And OP replied, in the SI video, Brad said something to the effect of that
Let's
he was
go,
in a mindset,
Brad.
he was
Come
so
on.
obsessed with his work, he couldn't focus
Come
on
to
anything
Australia,
else. Then again,
buddy.
I'm not sure he was even telling the
You
truth that he screamed at Tina
piece
because
of
she interrupted his
shit.
live stream. I think he was insanely paranoid and was eavesdropping and then heard her talking about him. Then ARTV posts on the Brad Taste in Music subreddit this video titled FU Brad Taste in Music and captions it uploaded with Tina's consent, screened with her over
Oh
a phone
my
call for her
God.
approval first before uploading.
Savage,
Hope this
bro.
brings clarity to my crash out on Brad and the subs last year. Intrepidator replies, the fact that the $4,000 handy is now public knowledge is crazy. I've known about that now
Wait,
for
what
a
the
year.
fuck?
Imran Thought says the 4K
The 4K hand is now public knowledge? What fucking 4K handy?
what? And Squill says, may I ask for more context?
What
of
the
how you knew
hell are
about
we
that for a
talking
while
about
before the
now?
public? Don't have to go
We've
into any
jumped-
specifics. I'm just
we've
curious.
jumped the
And
fucking
for that
gun,
context,
boys.
here is the actual
We've
screenshot
jumped
that
the
Tina
gun.
sent to ARTV in his video.
Tina, hi, it's Tina. Hi, Tina. I have the 8-minute leading up to the crazy screaming and then a separate recording of the crazy scream that occurred right after. Trigger warning for real, it's bad. But the 8-minute one is wild. Like I said, just hearing his delusional thought process is kind of crazy. Also, side note, one time he paid 4K for a hand job. Yeah, look.
And it's tech.
I feel like this needs to be like properly put towards like a case manager or something. Sharing petty shit like this is like just some fucking
Let's
random.
start with Tina saying, hi, it's Tina. And ARTV
I
replies,
don't
hi.
know.
and she
It
says,
makes
I
it not seem so serious. Like, what the helly? Haha, brother, what? Like, what?
the 8 minutes leading
I'm
up
so
to
sorry, but I'm cackling right now. You just told there's an 8-minute recording of him screaming.
the crazy screaming, and then a separate recording of the
So,
crazy screaming that occurred right after.
you're just
Trigger warning for
going
real, it's
straight
bad,
after
but
that
the
to the
end one is
4K
wild.
handy.
Like I said, just hearing his delusional thought processes is kind of crazy. Also, side
I
note,
don't
one
know,
time
I
he
just
paid
find it
$4,000
distasteful.
for an HJ. Embarrassing. And ARTV says, well shit, let me sit down for this one. I'm getting in bed. What the helly? Bro, what? And Tina
Alright,
says,
come on,
yeah.
come on,
And
come
he
on, come on.
replies, I am
Let's
so
move
sorry,
on.
but I am cackling right now. As someone who's never
I
had a
need
penny for
to
a woman's touch.
increase
And then
the-
there is a document attached
This is
from
too
ARTV
much.
and Tina where it says, the following is a list of chores
Let's
slash
up these
tasks slash
numbers.
responsibilities that Brad listed out over their 5 years together for Tina to
1.25.
do in their relationship. All formatting has been left as it was in the shared notes from Tina to me, John.
Oh my god, more lists. What is this? This is what Bradley set out for Tina to do in their relationship. All formatting has been left as it was in the shared note from Tina to me. Household. Collecting, picking up garbage from around the house includes cleaning old food out of the fridge, taking garbage bag out of can. So this was just... So she was just like a house slave. Laundry, collecting Brad's clothes next to bed, collecting Brad's socks in office and next to couch. He says they will take care of these, but they often stay there until they take care of themselves. So he's just a piece of shit.
Expectations. Household. Collecting
This is just a piece of shit. This isn't
cleaning all the food out of the fridge and actually cleaning inside of the fridge. Taking garbage out of the can. Brad
Yeah,
often leaves it overflowing.
you're a terrible
Laundry.
person
Collecting
and
Brad's
dirty,
clothes
but
next to the bed. Collecting Brad's socks in office
I mean,
and next to the
you're not
couch. He
breaking
says that he will take care
laws.
of these,
This
but they often
isn't
stay there until I
breaking
take care of them
anything. It's not
myself. Sorting all
cancelable
dirty
even.
laundry, washing all
This
laundry,
just sounds
folding
like
or putting away
fucking
clean
old
laundry.
mate
If the laundry is all in a big
Pirate.
clean pile, he asks
What's that guy called? Pirate
me to
Software?
find him an outfit. Maintaining/cleaning washer and dryer. Washing all sheets, bedding, pillowcase.
Holy shit. This is just like a fucking support worker. Like, seriously. How do you do this for years? You're just a cleaner. You're not even a girlfriend. So he did nothing at all. This is what happens after these audio clips and stuff. You'll find time and time again, the girlfriend comes out with some fucking 100-page manual on what they never cleaned up and just how much of a piece of shit they were.
His pillows and putting everything back together, collecting
always
and washing
comes
bath
out.
towels, collecting and washing kitchen hand towels into drying mats,
Oh
dishes,
my
loading the
God.
dishwasher, filling
Fair
rinse
enough.
aid.
I
I've
mean,
never seen Brad
shit.
do this. I don't think he knows what it is or how to check or fill it. Collecting cups on
You
Brad's
hate the
bedside
guy,
table or
obviously,
desk in
with
office
what
because
he
they usually
did,
will
and
stay
you
there until I take care of
justified.
them myself. Ordering any
But do we
supplies
need to
needed
know all
at
this? You
personal
know,
care
like, I don't know, loading dishwashers. Is this really pertinent information?
supplies, deodorant, shampoo,
I guess it
etc.,
helps
household
frame
supplies,
a
garbage
picture,
bags,
but
air
we really
purifier
know. I
filters,
mean,
Brita filters, Kleenex, etc. These
we
things all
know
require
he's a
keeping
piece of
mental inventory
shit
and deciding
and
when
an
they should be
emotional
purchased.
abuser. Do
Going
we
out
need to
shopping,
know this
Costco,
stuff,
Target,
you know?
grocery store, etc. Picking up the mail.
That's
If I
the
do not
only
check the mailbox
question I
myself,
have.
a mail will continue to pile up. Not once has Brad
Is this
picked up the mail
necessary
without me
to
explicitly
release
asking him
this?
to. Making specific grocery lists, ordering groceries, or shopping
I have a
myself.
comment.
I also have to put
Do you
the
think
groceries
this
away and
adds?
organize them if Brad shops or brings Instacart orders upstairs. When he needs to put them away, he just
If
puts
you
the
think this
plastic
adds
grocery bags
to
in the fridge with the food in them. Contacting
to the
houseworkers
list
for
of
cleanings once a month, making
items
sure
that's
she gets
wrong
paid
with
and
him,
getting PayPal
then
requests from
let
Brad
me know.
after. Vacuuming, maintaining
I don't
the
think
vacuum,
any of
emptying the
this is
vacuum, charging the
necessary,
vacuum, actually
right?
vacuuming, carpet floors, hard floors, furniture.
Like cleaning air purifiers, like organize everything. Frequently changing out empty toilet rolls. Like,
a new vacuum when we needed a new one, air purifiers, cleaning them periodically, changing odor filter every 3 months, changing
we know,
HVAC
girl.
filter
We
every
know.
6 months,
He's the
organizing
fuck
everything. Everything in this
We
apartment
know.
has been decided by me. Every piece of furniture, every cabinet full of stuff. I had to decide all alone what it should go where. I believe that Brad doesn't even know where a lot of things are because of this. Cleaning floors, sweeping/vacuuming, steam mopping, taking apart the couch every month or a couple of months and cleaning underneath.
please
It's a
be
modular
it.
couch, so a lot of stuff
I
falls
can't
through the
do
cushions
more.
all the way through to the
I
floor
can't do
underneath.
it.
Bathroom,
I'm
frequently
just
changing
gonna. I
out
need a
toilet
minute
paper rolls
break.
that were left in the dispenser by Brad, cleaning the gunk
I
off of
probably
Brad's
shouldn't
toothbrush
just let
when it's
this.
not properly
I mean, he's
rinsed,
just
changing
reading
his
off a
toothbrush head
fucking list.
periodically.
He didn't
Miscellaneous
make this
tidying,
content.
cleaning
I
up
can
after
sit back
meals,
for a
fixing
bit.
pillows/blankets on the couch, picking up garbage, cleaning up spills, etc., wiping
Brad.
down counters and stove, cleaning windows, putting stuff into Mac and Suki, which are their pets, monitoring inventory and reordering all dog supplies, scheduling all vet appointments, filing pet insurance claims, keeping track of pet records. I don't think
I
Brad would
can't
know
do
where to
this
find Mac and
anymore.
Suki's records if he needed them in an emergency.
One, I
Organizing/managing
don't
all the
care.
dog grooming,
This isn't
filing
really
their
pertinent
nails,
to
brushing
the
them.
original
I don't think he ever
abuse.
has. Them, they will not get it.
A lot
I
of
don't
these
think Brad
people.
even
I mean,
knows
you
how
really
often
think
they
he
get
was
it.
going to be
Podcasts-
someone who's clean? Do you see his eyes? Do you really think he's going to be someone who fucking is up at 7 a.m. cleaning? Dude's got fucking bags on bags on bags. We're going to skip through this. If you want to watch it, just go to Internet Versus channel. But it's just all nitpicky shit, really. Very, very nitpicky. Oh, she must have spent a day on this at least. My God. He's never gonna be fucking in a relationship again. He's gonna have to move to Thailand, the poor bugger. He's fucked. Grocery shopping occasionally, only when I ask. I have to make a grocery list in the Kroger app that he can explicitly follow. How Brad contributes to the household. Walking dogs in the morning and doing afternoon potty break. Sometimes waits in the afternoon to their morning potty. Knowing he takes them out so late, I usually try to stay up and take them out at about 2 a.m. Alright, we're getting to dog care now. Now you're going to piss me off, Brad. Don't ever fuck with dogs, bro. Entirely unreliable about afternoon potty breaks. I have to remind him frequently at some points, every single day. Holy shit.
the dishwasher. Only when I ask. Only when I ask.
Fuck me, I hope someone doesn't come out with something like this against me.
Potty. Nope.
Don't be a piece of shit and this wouldn't happen.
Takes care of dogs while I'm out of town. Though I have notifications on for our garage because I've had to remind him to take the dogs out.
Oh, hold up. There is a redeeming factor. When we're getting ready to go on trips, Brad offers to drop dogs off at dog sitter. Well, he takes care of the dogs while I'm out of town. But is he really though?
States. Door dashing food. Maybe doesn't count because this is really just a money thing. Then over on Brad Taste and Music, a fast ballooning head posts this document with the caption, "Holy shit. ARTV just published a Google Doc of demands Brad gave Tina." And Gar Marman Tong replies, so
yeah,
she was essentially
pretty much was her mum.
Says, from what Tina said in her interview, she did literally everything
I mean,
for him but wipe
we'll keep playing the videos, see where this goes.
No shaving, unkempt hair, etc. And OP replies, I don't know.
I wanted more of a response really, but it seems he only put a 20-second clip up with a shitty apology.
My 10-month-old has more maturity than Brad. Child. And careful drawing says, most of this is explained by depression and executive dysfunction. I struggle a lot with most of these things. Obviously, I'm trying a lot harder than Brad to get better at them, but it's clear he's mentally ill, and all of these tasks are very challenging for people dealing with mental illness.
Oh wait, what the fuck did that say? Most of this... Oh, I thought that said erectile dysfunction. It's depression, executive dysfunction. Yeah, he does have an executive dysfunction.
With mental illness. Choco Nugget replies to the document by saying,
definitely.
What you gotta understand is that Brad needs to be locked in completely on his art of being paid to listen to albums and overlaying graphics to let us know if he likes it or not.
How did he ever even make content and edit and put things together? Like, how did he manage to do that?
Just get him out of the creative zone. Fellow artists understand this. And Useful Strategy replies, he's incapable of doing anything.
It's impressive.
On a soundboard. And Choco Nugget says he cries
How
sometimes
the
too.
fuck did he do it?
Screaming at his partner. And Willing Loach says, I hear he has a knack for punching holes in walls and doors
oh
too.
my god.
With the caption,
Brad tried calling ARTV.
And it's an Instagram post from ARTV where Brad messaged him and said, not trying to freak you out or anything by calling.
The starvation for attention is insane. Well, I mean, you do have the right to defend yourself. And ARTV, bro, I wouldn't be the one saying the starvation for attention is insane. I mean, you're the one benefiting off all this.
And I kind of want to just make some things right between us.
You're getting the clout for Tina coming with everything.
I'm not answering that, man. The starvation for attention is insane.
I just hate people that grift off these kind of scandals.
Then over on Brad Taste, Top Concern also posts that there is a GoFundMe now for Tina, entitled Donate to Help Tina Rebuild Her Life After Abuse, organized by Taylor Nelson. And the GoFundMe, as of right now, at time of recording, has $9,735 raised out of 10K. Nice. And Tina tweets out, very overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and support from you guys. For the first time in a long time, I feel like...
Yeah, see, she's getting a lot of support. I don't know what he was saying. His Twitter or whatever VOD video, his little 30-second shitty... sorry clip was saying that I'm sorry for the attention that's on you now, the spotlight. Well, she's got 10K.
Shout out to our tier 3 members and representatives Kiko, Salsao, to call this bandito.
Alright, that's it. That's a little update. He pretty much didn't apologize. Another good non-apology from all YouTubers. We're gonna finish with the fact that he's a piece of shit. Don't watch his content. Don't give this any fuel to the fire. He's done and I'm over it, and I don't want to see anything to do with him ever again. Alright, I thought I'd do another follow-up. Nick Andros released a video with good old mate Mutahar, just talking about if Mutahar's ability or his continual use of the word engineer and claiming he was an engineer was legal or not. You know, there's a lot of back and forth out in Canada where he lives that it's not legal, that you can't just say you're an engineer. Even then, even if it was illegal, I mean, what, you're going to get sued for lying of the improper use of calling yourself an engineer? Probably not. It's like a civil kind of case. I think like there's not really any legality. I mean, who's going to chase that up? Maybe Nick Andros. But he's just provided an update to see if it really was legal or illegal, and we found out that Mutahar can say he's an engineer. It's legally able to say that in Canada, and I don't really care about this anymore. I mean, I've definitely realized that some ordinary gamers or Mutahar is pretty much just a lolcow now, realizing he never had like a nice night, like a 9 to 5 engineer or not. I thought he did work, and he came home and record some videos. Now I realize doing this, there's no way in fucking hell he has a job or anything, and now he's just a lolcow. He really is.
Welcome, I'm Nicandros.
Alright, let's get into it.
Mutahar has been a fake engineer for 10 years. You probably walked away with the conclusion that he's been claiming to be all
this is an
kinds of engineer.
Important follow-up, because Mutahar still needs some kind of defense. And you can't just put out these accusations about legalities and whatnot of using the word. So you need to make sure you follow these things up.
Himself as an engineer on his channel dozens of times, but on his
you can't just put those statements out.
Not all of his main audience will see. He has admitted to being a dropout, that he hasn't been an engineer in years or eons, but he was still presenting himself as an engineer in the present tense, giving the false impression that he is currently an engineer.
So he never was, right?
He stated he is not an engineer, and he didn't even state in his defense that one of his job titles contained the word engineer at one point. So it is true that he's been a fake engineer for 10 years. However, I made a mistake in my coverage. I claimed that Mutahar calling himself an engineer was illegal, or that it could be illegal.
The problem with these exposed videos is they jump into it way too fast. He could have found this out beforehand, and you know, you got to be careful. Mutahar could have launched a legal defense of defamation in somewhat some kind of legality, and you just got to research a bit better before putting these out. You know, what you've done is fine, you know, in terms of the exposure that he's not an engineer, but you got to be careful, mate.
Now, I do want to give the disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer or a Canadian.
You can't just say these things.
And based on what
okay?
I've read, it's actually illegal to call yourself an engineer if you are not a licensed engineer.
You have to be so careful coming up with these claims.
The later part of the video, I made the same claim without actually couching it. At least pirates.
If you do make these claims, you have to rectify it straight away, and you do have to come out with a video like this. So good job, Nicandros.
Software's lies didn't break the law.
We're not perfect. We're not perfect.
Once again, I am not a lawyer. It might not be illegal.
He shouldn't have been speaking about this at all.
There were many theories in the
I'm sorry, bro. I'm on your side. I'm on your side, but you can't just start that. Once one person starts it, then it's in every single video, and that's the problem.
Others claimed it was illegal because using professional engineering titles such as
and then people like me will put Mutahar's an illegal engineer, and I'll reference this video. You know?
Which instructs people to report anyone claiming to be an engineer if their name doesn't appear in their public database.
That's the problem.
He has received back a response from the PEO, and
I can say he. You know, I can say I learned from Nicandros that Mutahar an illegal engineer. You know, I can say that. I won't really get in trouble, but Nicandros will, because he's spreading misinformation. Now, should I still look up myself and say that Nicandros is not right? Yes, probably should. But we're not lawyers, right?
Thank you for your email. We have completed our investigation regarding Mr. Renas's use of the title engineer.
But it is legal.
The evidence provided to us
you can say that.
Violation of Ontario law. The text of the relevant provision of our statute reads, every person who is not a holder of a license or a temporary license and who uses the title engineer or an
how it is legal, they probably should change that. You shouldn't be able to just say that you're an engineer if you're not. You know, should be probably something.
The use of the title can clearly be attached to the province of Ontario. Although Mr. Renas is
so he never said Ontario,
that. None of his videos directly attach his use of the title to the province.
So it's not illegal because he never said he was an engineer in Ontario where he lives. He never mentioned Ontario, an engineer at all. So he didn't relate it to a specific location. Okay, he didn't say I'm an engineer in Ontario, and that would mean it would be illegal. He would not be able to say that. But he didn't. He never said that, so it's all fly. Still fly,
if we
yup.
were to interpret the statute otherwise, any
Still
person
fly.
who called themselves an engineer on YouTube could be liable to prosecution under Ontario law.
But
and
he
that
did
appears to be
not.
an absurd
Is he
result.
still a
There
piece
is
of
also
shit,
American
liar,
law,
lolcow?
Galstrom v. Oregon State Board of Examiners for
Yes.
Engineering and Surveying, which held that applying
He
title
is.
protection statutes solely to
He
challenge
very
protected
much is
speech
a
violation
lolcowing
of the First
fucking
Amendment and would likely
piece
be a
of
violation
shit.
of S2 of the Charter. Finally, we do not believe there is
Fuck
any
you,
public interest in
Mutahar.
pursuing this matter. There
No,
does not appear to have
I
been any
jest.
intention on Mr.
It's not
Anas's
that
part to
serious.
mislead anyone about
He
his Ontario
did lie
license
for over
status,
10
and he has
years,
already apologized for the
making
confusion.
himself better
As
than what
such,
he
we have
was.
closed our
It draws
investigation
into
in
question
this
of
matter. So the
character,
key
right?
element that would have made Mutahar's use of the term illegal would have been to attach his engineering status to the province of Ontario. So saying, I'm a fucking computer engineer, I don't care,
In
is not
Ontario,
illegal.
yeah.
If he said, I'm a fucking computer engineer in Ontario, I don't care, supposedly that would have been illegal. So I obviously made a
See?
mistake by saying what Mutahar did
That
could have
little
been or was
difference.
illegal, and I apologize to Mutahar, and I also
That
apologize
little
to you, the
difference
audience, for
saved.
misleading you about the
I
facts.
can't believe he
No,
didn't say that
you
over
merely
10 years.
incidentally feel misled
Pretty
or feel
impressive.
deceived. You were deceived, and you were misled by me and my misleading
Fair
and
enough.
deceptive words. I did make disclaimers and couch the claim in uncertainty, but I was
this
still
is a
wrong.
good
Some people believe I'm trying
apology.
To get Mutahar thrown in jail
Not
or get
apology, but
fined
like
until he's bankrupt. That's not the case.
this is
at
a
all,
good,
and it's never been. I'm simply trying to get him to stop lying. Again, Mutahar's
making
statements
your
are his
wrongs
about his
right.
knowledge and skills,
Let's
and
say
if you
that.
want a closer examination
Good
of
video
Mutahar's
to
knowledge,
do.
check out this new video by Slop News Network. I would also like to apologize to the people of Ontario for calling your province Ontario. There's also a creator called
Ontario.
YouTube who has looked into Mutahar's
Yeah,
and Carl
they're
Jobs'
good to
investigation
watch.
into the completionist charity, pointing out the errors they made. I'm going to be ending this video with a quick
Look,
Q&A.
Mutahar's a fucking
No,
idiot,
for
mate.
full clarity, my avatar is a Microsoft
anyway,
AI-generated
I don't need to
image
watch
based on
this
an earlier
stuff.
photo
I
sparrow
don't
who
care.
liked the teethy grin as a
You
pretty
can be
muscular
whatever
kind
you're
of
into, Nick
look.com.
Andrews.
Are you a Hasan fan? You don't need this other laugh about not.
Anyway, this is
I
just.
use an SM7
Oh, this is
connected to a
important.
Cloud Lift CL1 to
Are you
a
obsessed with
with
Mutahar?
sound
If
card
you don't know,
without
all
any
his videos are
configuration.
pretty much
I-
Mutahar.
So I am trying. But I'm a human, not a robot. Why do you make videos about Mutahar?
Why are you
How
upset
did this
with
beef
Mutahar?
start? Why are half of your videos about Mutahar?
They
It will
are.
become quite clear when my big
We need
video
to
comes
see
out.
this video.
When
This
is
is
the
going to be a
big
good video
out?
coming
I'll
out.
try to make it by the
He's
end
got
of
a
the
big
month.
one.
I guess I'll set a final deadline to September 11th,
That would be
2025.
the
What is the big
main
video about? It's about the
drama.
drama that caused Mutahar to abandon drama content. It's about the drama that ended his podcast, and a story about a series of small actions taken by
There's
insignificant
a lot
player,
to come
me,
on
which resulted in the
Mutahar.
post-Naxkarity incident. It's also a story about the dangerous consequences of people not holding their friends accountable. Are you in favor of online
Yeah.
government ID verification?
Alright, I don't care about that. That's it. Mutahar is able to say he's an engineer if he does not relate it back to where he lives. Is he a fuckwit, piece of shit? Yeah, he is. Will I still watch a video here and there? Probably. You know, he hasn't killed my mum. And that's really it. He's stepping back from video making. He made a retirement retirement video. No, go check it out if you want. It's a bit of a laugh. I'm not going to watch another video on him at the moment, because I really can't be fucked. But he did release a little video about the state of his channel. Anyway, I want to get to something a little bit different, kind of non-drama related. There's two. This Mutahar, it's a 2 out of 10 on seriousness. Brad Taste of Music's like a, yeah, the audio clip's probably like an 8. Now we're gonna get to some Voidzilla. I don't really watch too much of CoffeeZilla. Here and there, there's a good video, but I haven't been watching his Epstein coverage. And I thought, you know what, it'll be nice to watch this on live. Have a see. Top 5 lies in Epstein footage. Okay, this would be good to know. Even if you've seen it, it's always good to keep up to date with current events. Let's see.
Recreated Epstein's prison
So all I know is the, I don't know, government or fucking whoever releases this stuff supposedly released untouched, unedited footage of the final minutes or the raw, or maybe not the 5, maybe it was like the last day, 12 hours of straight footage that was supposedly completely undoctrinated and complete raw fit footage, and then people were coming in and picking it apart and seeing that it was supposedly edited in Adobe and it had been run through processing. Now, this is supposed to be the raw file. So you shouldn't be able to go into these files and see that it's been processed through like Adobe Procreate or something, or DaVinci Resolve, right? So I'm gonna think that this is somewhat to do with that.
In 3D to show you the top 5 lies hidden in the government's footage. You can get the raw file on
Here we
Patreon,
go.
support yourself, and let's jump into it.
Here we
Lie
go.
number 5, you're gonna get a video of the
Oh
cell.
my
You're
god,
gonna get the video of the cell.
the
And
video.
you're gonna see for yourself.
Cash
They're so
Patel, the FBI
lies.
director, told us that
Bro.
this footage was of
Cash
Jeffrey
Patel's a
Epstein's cell,
fucking
but it's not.
liar.
Let's fly over to where Epstein's cell.
Oh, this is-
actually
look at
Marked
this.
it with a green door.
CoffeeZilla,
Down below, we
bro.
actually see a camera marked in red
Look at that
wasn't recording the
editing,
night of
man.
Epstein's death, which brings us to our next lie. There was only one camera.
There's video of him.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. There was only one camera.
Deputy Director Dan
Lol.
Bongino of the FBI told us there was only one camera in the special
How
housing
can
unit.
so many
That's
people
true.
not know
There were at
what's
least
going
2
on?
cameras recording and 9 other cameras that were working.
They're all
not
liars. It's
to
all a
malfunction
cover-up.
days earlier. Now, the official report says that recordings should have been made for about half of the cameras, but in Epstein's
I
file,
just don't-
only 2 out of 11 cameras were recording. Really bad luck, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, if we have footage of someone going in and killing him, will it really change anything? When you have the President of the United States of America just brushing this off and not giving a fuck about it, I mean, would it actually, if we saw definite footage, like what? It's just, where does it end, you know?
should say all the
What does it
cameras were
mean?
working before that, at a
Are we
time
gonna
when Epstein-
go kill the president or what, or something? Like, what's this? What's the end goal? It's ridiculous. Do I personally think something sketchy went down in his death? I don't know. Probably, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm someone that relies on direct information and evidence. I can't just, it's just always going to be I don't know, right? Because you don't know. Sure,
his
something
cellmate
fucked up
tried to
happened.
kill him, and this was
Sure.
contradicted by his cellmate who said Epstein
But-
tried to commit. Epstein later got put on
I
screen.
mean,
Watch this event,
it's
and
so
we should have
hard
been able
to
get
find
that
definitive
footage,
truth,
except the
right?
prison failed to save the correct file. Prosecutors claimed the footage contained on the preserved video was for the correct date and time, but captured a different tier than the one where Jeffrey
Do I
Epstein
think
was located.
this
There was
is
only
all
one camera.
sketchy
So
as
Deputy
fuck?
Director
Yes.
lied when he said there was only one camera. There were actually
It is
11,
all
and
very,
his two were
very
recording.
sketchy.
Only one got released, and according
Does
to
it
our
just
own
lead me to
report, 5 or
think
6
something
should have been
happened
recording, but
more
weren't.
than
When
it
the cameras
didn't?
were working
Yes.
properly, they didn't save the right files. Incredibly unlucky. But lie number 3, there's nothing unlucky
It's
about it.
very
We were told
odd.
directly that the footage
How
we
hard
were
can
given
it
showed
be?
There was no one there but Epstein.
You're gonna see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But
They're
there's no
always-
DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints,
you have a
there's
tip,
no suspects, there's no accomplices,
the
there's no
fuck you
tips,
talking
there is
about?
nothing.
The footage just directly debunks.
What tips are they gonna be, bro? You think fucking, what, 300 million Americans were in the prison cell?
There
watching?
are several people who appear in the footage the FBI released, and actually one even appears after lockdown walking up the stairs. The government
They're all
report at first
liars.
called this laundry, but independent experts agreed. according to one
Independent
analysis by
experts.
CBS.
At 10:38 p.m., the report says someone, probably Noel, carries a bundle of bedding or clothing up the stairs. It's a rare instance the video does catch movement on the stairs. But
Why
rarely.
can't they?
Let's see that
They need
zoom
to
in
fucking.
slow
I got
motion
better
again.
camera
Several of the
quality.
video
I'm just a
forensic
fucking
experts we spoke with
random.
were skeptical about the report's conclusion and thought
They
that
can't
the
spend
video
some
could be
money
showing
in
an
this
inmate
shit?
walking up the stairs. Authorities say this was the last time anyone approached his
Oh
cell
my
block
god!
until
Look
his
what
body
we're
was discovered
watching.
the next morning.
How are we supposed to
Again,
know
while the video
anything?
does not contradict that, experts who viewed the video say the limited field of view makes it impossible to definitively conclude that no one used those stairs in that time period.
Yeah, we don't know who that is. The government's not clear. And there are also several people who
We'll
are housed
never
in the
know.
same cell block as Jeffrey Epstein, which, as we've shown, isn't visible to the camera footage we were given. So that raises questions.
Again,
And
we'll
so
never
do
know.
The 2 prison guards who were on staff that night and had a view of Epstein's cell. Both were charged with falsifying records on the night Epstein died, specifically with them lying about completing mandatory
Wait,
rounds
wait,
to check
wait,
on
wait,
Jeffrey
wait,
Epstein the
wait,
night of his
wait.
death, despite a posted
wait,
warning
wait.
that read rounds to check on Jeffrey Epstein the night of his death, despite a he died.
Federal prosecutors brought charges Tuesday against 2 prison guards accused of falsifying records to cover up their failure to check on Jeffrey Epstein before the high-profile inmate was found dead in his cell.
specifically with him lying
That's
about
pretty
completing mandatory
fucking
rounds to check on
crazy.
Epstein the night of his death, despite a posted warning that read mandatory rounds must be conducted every 30 minutes on Epstein as per God. But they did not do that instead.
What? As
They
per
appeared
God?
to fall asleep, according to the OIG report, and occasionally browse the internet, where one guard, quote, read a news article about Jeffrey Epstein.
No offense, but this happens in every prison cell, right? Prison place. I wouldn't be surprised if the same report can be had for any other prison in America or in the world. You know? Get paid for doing less.
So it's just
I mean, that's no excuse. They should be doing their job, but I mean, how many times have we slacked off in your workplace?
a
It's
total
no
lie to
different,
say
even if it's Jeffrey Epstein. I mean,
no one there but Epstein and no possible suspects. You have several inmates shown on the camera the night of his death. You have one walking up the stairs after lockdown, and you also have guards that just falsified records. But
That's
this all brings us to
pretty
lie number
crazy.
2, the second biggest Pinocchio, and that's where they tell us
Falsifying
we're going to get the raw
records, bro.
footage, so we know there aren't shenanigans.
We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
So yeah, I don't think I need to explain why this is one of those brazen lies. We were
Sorry,
told
there's
we were
such
given a modified
lies.
and the original footage. Instead, what we got are 2 modified videos because both were edited in Premiere Pro. Now, it isn't clear exactly
Yeah,
what was edited,
Premiere
but
Pro.
expert forensic analysts who spoke to Wired said the footage wouldn't stand up in court, had 1 minute, no wait.
How
actually
dumb
3
are
minutes
they?
missing, and now there are reports that the DOJ
what really just gets me is how dumb they are. How would you not know what you're releasing would have the what's it called? Fucking I don't know, but it would tell them that. How do you not know that they wouldn't have some kind of artifact? There you go, some artifact of it being edited. How would you not know that?
has the full footage,
How dumb
but
are
just
you?
hasn't released it.
And a government source
Really?
pledged to
How
CBS
dumb are you?
News, the FBI, and other agencies are in possession of the full,
Scary.
unedited footage.
And that brings
These people
us to
run
the
the
final
country.
point, the final biggest lie of all, and that's a direct quote from the DOJ memo about what the footage even shows. And it says this, quote, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the shoe common area would have been captured by this footage. The government's entire case is built on this lie, and that's why it's the biggest, because their
It's all
whole case
one
for
big
saying
lie.
no one could have reached him is the idea that this one camera angle shows everything. But let's put Maxwell in our 3D twin and have him walk up the stairs. First, we'll put him on the left side of the staircase, and as you can see, you can barely make him out. However, if we put him on the right side of the staircase, you'll find that you can't see him at all. He's invisible from our view. So there's just obviously a blind spot here, which, by the way, the government already knew because they already admitted in a previous Epstein report, saying that this camera angle specifically was a, quote, partial view of the L-tier stairway. So
I just can't believe they
not
got
a
such
full view. You
shit
can't see
fucking
everything.
cameras.
And as you can see in this excellent CBS investigation,
It's
you can actually
embarrassing.
access this stairway and Epstein's cell from a doorway invisible to the camera.
But with the primary entrance
Look
here,
at this
the pathway from the
investigation,
entrance to the stairs
mate.
is completely out of view of the camera.
Yeah, that's right. You could access Epstein's cell. Our replication of the prison shows the same conclusion. If we have Maxwell
Is
walking
this
from
made
the
in
entrance to
fucking
Epstein's cell, we can't see
Phasmophobia?
him from this camera angle, even though if we make the walls transparent, obviously we can see him, but in the raw footage we'd have no way of knowing if somebody walked this direction. This painstaking recreation of the special housing unit can put to bed the top 5 lies from our government about Jeffrey Epstein.
enough.
1, we didn't
They're
get a
all
video of Jeffrey
fucked.
Epstein's cell. We got a camera that can't see it. 2, there wasn't just one camera, there were 11. 3, the footage shows way more than just Epstein. 4, we didn't get raw footage, we got modified footage. And lastly,
I
there
mean,
are
how
blind
dumb
spots
do these people
on this
think
camera.
you
I mean, it's
are?
just perfectly clear. and the
People might.
government
I honestly don't think they
I have to
care.
say that Epstein definitively himself, but the government is only adding fuel to the fire when they put out statements
Yes,
that are
that's the
directly
problem.
contradicted by their own video.
They're adding
The best
fuel
you can
to
say
the
is this is
fire.
either extreme levels of negligence or deliberate incompetence to cover things up. The most honest thing you can say at this point is that we don't have definitive evidence
Yes,
for the night
I
Epstein
agree.
died, one way or
Coffee-
the other, that has been released. The evidence we do
Coffeezilla.
have has been modified, does not say what they
It's
say it
just
says, and
every
all of this makes it
step of
impossible
the
to know
way, it's so
100% what has
sketchy.
happened. That is not a conspiracy.
So,
That's
so
what the government's
sketchy.
own evidence actually shows. Now, as I said, we'll make the 3D version of Epstein's housing unit available on Patreon. It's
Thanks,
a Blender
bro.
file along with the
Oh my
digital
God,
copy
these
of
people
it.
are
I should say,
crazy.
the government's not exactly forthcoming
You can
about
go
the exact
play in
stats of
Epstein's
their
fucking
prison, so we had
playland.
to use some approximations using the photos provided and taking
Oh
measurements where
my
we could.
God.
But as I said, our
They didn't
conclusions
fuck
match up
around.
with the government's from years ago. So I think we're on safe ground there. That's basically it. Thanks for watching.
Anyway,
Self.
what's this guy
Again,
say?
you want me to? I've seen the whole file.
The problem, yeah, is it incompetence? Are they trying to hide something, or is it incompetence? Either way, it's actually either way you look at it, it's bad. Hiding something's worse, I guess. But if they're that incompetent running the country, fucking hell. All right, we are gonna get into some more juicy drama clips. clip farming. We have Ethan Klein talking about the lawsuit. This was released 12 hours ago. Quick one, Kaceytron and Denims. When you get a lawsuit against you, you have to submit a response. Okay? And their lawyer, well, that's their lawyer, not them. They don't have to sit there in front of a camera if they don't want and talk about it. But it's pretty much them just responding to their lawsuit and how they're gonna fight it. And it's not great. Denims and Kaceytron, they need to change lawyers. It's really fascinating just how fucked they are, really. Nothing more than just being really fucked. I don't understand how they can, they even hire shit lawyers, and I have seen their response to the lawsuit, and I feel like, are they playing 8D fucking chess with Ethan Klein? You can't make this shit up. Is there something we don't know? Because it just doesn't make sense, this incompetence. And it's that 1% that's scary of they actually might have something to fucking destroy Ethan. Like a trump card. I just don't know. I really hope not, obviously. But it's just, can you be that incompetent of a person? Let's just hear him talk about it for a bit and we'll continue on.
Another video. Today we'll be discussing Denims and Kaceytron's response to my lawsuit, which was due on
non-response.
Friday
Really, it's pretty terrible.
Over it for you guys now, and I'm just going to.
It is really bad.
This is just a total flawless victory for us. That's
They've got some screws in their head.
So here's the filing, and I'm only going to show Denims because they have the same attorney, and Kaceytron's.
Why do they have the same attorney?
So I'm just going to look at hers, and it represents both.
I
so
do not.
What you'll see if you scroll this is they're answering the.
You know how many lawyers there are?
A lot of copy-paste. Defendant denies. Defendant denies. Paragraph 6 contains legal conclusions.
We'll watch Legal Mindset after this, and he breaks it down a bit. Actually, he had this out before Ethan.
Pasting. It's all very just formal, kind of saying as little as possible. Answer paragraph 9. Defendant lacks sufficient knowledge or information or form of belief. Essentially, just saying we can't say. This one says contains legal conclusions, which no response is required. Just basically not saying anything. Number 16, they start to move on.
Look at all this. This is them. This is a major court document.
Deny. That's the Hasan form. Look at all this. Look at this copy pasting. Is this?
Bro, this is all their responses. Answering paragraph 36. Defendant lacks sufficient knowledge or information or form of belief concerning the truth of the factual allegations contained therein, and on that base denies which such allegations. What? Shit.
Same answer between 22.
I wonder why Frogan fucking just said, "Oh, I can't fucking talk about Ethan." Do you want me to add some good, what did she say? She said, "Oh, do you want me to add some?" So how am I supposed to talk over this video and add any constructive, fair use criticism when this fucking narcissistic arsehole just talks and talks? There's nothing else to say. Fuck, now I understand. What else is there to say to this?
And
it's dreadful. Look at this.
Fucking is it
idiots, bro.
Between 22.
Ethan was waiting and waiting and waiting for something good, and this is what he gets. How is it just always like that?
2 and 45, which says answering paragraph 32 in this case, defendant lacks sufficient knowledge or information to form a belief concerning the truth of the factual allegations contained there within. On that basis, denies such allegations. So they copy pasted that monster of a claim, 22 to 24. This is essentially an exercise in saving money and cutting every corner possible and doing as little as possible, right?
No, they got their money from
Continue on, more copy pasting. Paragraph
GoFundMe's.
46 to.
I'm gonna have to sit down.
To 63 says identical things. It just says paragraph 46 contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. And they copy paste that. And then they move on to copy pasting here. 65 to 70, defendant denies the allegations. 71, defendant denies the allegations.
Deny.
This is essentially what this continues to be. They really don't say anything in this. Everything is like, I don't know, we don't know. We can't, how can we conclude? We don't know. Just that repeated and copy pasted like 100 times. Here's when they have now the ability to set their case forth, to explain their defense. They have claimed that our lawsuit is frivolous. Hassan has claimed it. They have claimed it. Everybody who is trying to support them, Ian Idubs has claimed it. They say it's frivolous. Why then have you declined to state, do the minimum amount of work in your case to explain it? Here, first, affirmative defense for fair use. Complaint in each and every cause and action set forth fails to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action upon which relief can be granted. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. This is their defense. This is their answer on fair use. Plaintiffs' claims are barred in whole or part by the equitable doctrine of unclean hands. I'll tell you, the only unclean hands here are yours, Bucko. I resent that. That is actually a legal doctrine. I'm just being silly. Yeah, it's just copy pasting. I mean, it's
you just got sued again, Ethan.
The lack of effort that's gone into this. So that's what it is by their attorney. Besides what's written here, the most interesting takeaways are these, and I'll tell you.
Tell me,
as I touched on, one, they did the laziest, cheapest response, and they failed to tell their story. They had a chance to respond, and they did not take it. The biggest thing to me is
This is really important for them to get right, to respond to the lawsuit properly. They're just not really understanding the seriousness of it, or they just don't give a fuck. You know, this was their chance. Every time they have a chance, they just don't do it properly. You've had quite a long time, no offense, but they don't fucking have much else going in their life. You know, not even Kaceytron. You could actually respond really well. Or, I mean, as good as you can in this situation, even though you're so in the wrong. And this is what you put out? You're like, what do you do all day, you fucking idiots?
Failed. They had the opportunity to file a motion to dismiss. This is what you do when you believe you have a frivolous case. You're telling the judge,
that would be the go-to, right?
That I will just set the facts straight for you. And it's so obviously fair use that we don't need to waste anyone's time going any further than this. They did not file a motion to dismiss.
I'm so confused that they didn't. I mean, it's great for Ethan. They didn't file a motion to dismiss. But, you know, you always see in movies, that's like the one thing you do first. And they must really think they can win this. Right? And if they win, you know, Ethan's going to have to pay for fees and whatnot.
Which means
they're really in deep in the source.
They considered them all that they all have merit, and that there was no way in hell a judge would grant a motion to dismiss. That is essentially
they're really in the source.
That the lawsuit is not frivolous. Because if it was, they would have filed motions to dismiss. That would have been a no-brainer. They didn't do it. The lawyer said, let's not even do that. Let's save money, right? You have no chance of winning. So that's interesting. The other interesting thing about this is that they did not file any counterclaims. We were expecting them to try to file counterclaims, which means they would include in their response some ridiculous trumped-up defamation or something. Just something to give them leverage against us, to be like, oh, see, you know, they have to deal with this.
It's really fucked,
you want to negotiate? Well, we're going to drop our counterclaim now, and you have to drop your lawsuit, this and that. They didn't even do that, because here's the truth.
So
because
fucked.
Either their lawyer is lazy, which might be, I don't know, or he was like, I don't see any legitimate...
I just want to see the fucking... I want to see the Discord clips, the messages and the Reddit messages between the mods of the snark. That is what I am waiting for personally. Because this lawsuit's going to go on forever, but that stuff we can see right now. You know, that stuff we're so close to getting.
But the thing is, they both...
I just want to know what they said.
So they have $80,000 in the coffer, the war coffers here. And this is the cheapest...
80,000... They got 80 grand, and it's just their first major document is just all copy and paste shit that they paid a lawyer to do. It is diabolical.
Dog shit response. You can imagine. No,
I don't understand. That's
and no counterclaims filed. So this to me,
where's all your money going?
Total flawless victory.
Where's
no motion
all
to
that money going?
No counterclaims. No case even set forth in the complaint. Lazy, horrible, shit. Straight L's all around, guys.
I have no idea.
Me and my lawyer were both pretty floored when we saw this, because we were accepting these guys to go to war. They were talking a big game. Denims was just raising money a few months ago to sue.
All they've done is talk a big talk. Like that's all these people do, and not to be able to back it up. I don't know how these people live with themselves.
To me for defamation. What happened? You were so tough. You were talking all kinds of shit.
A lot has happened since then, Ethan.
You had a chance and you didn't even write in a counterclaim. What a coward loser you are. What a coward loser
dumb
you are, Denims.
I
No
agree.
counterclaim, no motion to dismiss. Fat L's cringe.
I just
you
really
lose,
hope
I
Ethan
win.
doesn't
So what
lose
happens
this
now is it goes
lawsuit
to
or
basically
fuck
goes to
me, that's
discovery,
going to be
and
embarrassing.
then after that,
They're going to have
it
so
goes
much
to
ammo.
summary judgment, which is where
So,
I think we're going to win.
so
Which is
much
essentially
ammo.
after discovery, they have to actually write a response to the charges
Surely
to
he
the
can't
judge,
fuck this
and
up
then we
and
get to
lose.
respond to it, and then they respond to our response, and that is basically putting it in the judge's hands to say, hey, we're looking for a summary judgment. We don't need to go to trial. And I think that's where we're going to win. Personally,
Hopefully.
that's basically it. There's really nothing
A
much to
trial
say
would
about
be
it. It's just a
funny,
total
but if it
and
went to
complete
trial,
loss. They
holy
talked a big
shit,
game.
I would love to see
They had
that.
a chance to show it. They
I would
failed
take
to
off work to watch
level
that
any
live and fucking
defense, any
broadcast.
criticism at all. They've
Seeing them
conceded
on the
that this
stand.
lawsuit is not frivolous, and the
Like,
fun is
in-
only going to begin now.
Oh, it's
So
just
I don't know that
goofy.
they're going to be able to copy paste their way out of this one, but we shall see. I just basically want to know why Denims didn't
See their lies.
sue me for defamation like she promised. I was really hoping to have a good time with her, and I was looking forward to that. Claim of
She was
defamation,
never
but
going. It was just
give me a
never
chance
going
right
to.
here.
Never will.
I gave her golden opportunity. No motion to dismiss. No
Because he hasn't
counterclaims.
done any
Why is that?
defamation.
Lazy, dumb, losers.
He's not dumb.
No money spent. Raised money. Didn't spend the money. That's interesting. Isn't
He's
it?
not dumb. Say what you want about Ethan Klein, but
That's all I have to say about
doesn't
that.
fuck
So
around
we
with
will stay
lawsuits.
tuned. Again, this is Denims and Kaceytron. Frogan's response will be due in a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
So we will
She
enjoy
took a while to
that.
respond.
Although I expect it to look something like this. But
Or
she
to
has a different
accept the
attorney, so
lawsuit.
who knows? Maybe we'll see a different strategy
Yeah, it might be
unfolding. But me and
better.
my lawyer, we honestly expected too much. We expected way too much of our opponent. We thought for sure there would be a counterclaim at least, right? But
No counterclaim.
they're dumb and they're bad and they're wrong.
Suing in
They don't
bad
have the
faith.
facts,
I
they don't have the
know.
law, and also they're hateable. That's the reason. We're out, baby. This is Ethan Klein taking a hit of my inhaler
Oh my god.
and saying,
You
I'll
should
see
have
you
that.
guys in
I
the
need
next
that.
one.
He's funny. Anyway, that's where we're up to. We're gonna check out Legal Mindset's little PowerPoint breakdown on breaking down their response as well. So Ethan's talked about, and now we'll just break it down. This was actually done faster than what Ethan got it out. Legal Mindset. I mean, he is biased. I hope he's. You never know. He's a YouTube lawyer, I guess, now. You can call it that. You just never know how true they are, how good they are, what he's saying is actually true.
Let's get into it right now with Hasan versus Orbiters.
How much he knows, you know.
So,
I'm not going to watch
show you
all
guys
of
the
it because
video,
it's
right? I'm gonna
pretty
whip out my people,
long
guys.
video.
By the way, make sure you smash the like button, regardless of how you feel about
We
the video.
always
Smash the
smash
like
it.
button.
Come on,
It's
I've
very,
already
very
smashed
important.
it.
And also consider sharing this out on social media.
Alright,
because
I'm not
suit.
watching all
Not
this.
defamation, criminal, whatever. This is a copyright
Copyright.
infringement lawsuit.
It's
against
copyright,
Kaceytron,
guys.
Denims,
Yeah, that
and
is
Kaceytron.
all
We're
it
not
is.
talking about Frogi Yogi.
He got him
Because
on
Frogi
copyright.
Yogi got a delay of game, and Frogi Yogi has a different lawyer.
Frogi
So these two
Yogi.
ladies have the same lawyer.
I don't know how they have the
which
same
is
lawyer.
going to
I'm
be,
surprised you're allowed to do that.
which is going to be a potential conflict. So as
Alright,
this
let's
thing
get
goes,
to
these two
the
are answer
PowerPoint.
on respond.
So
And
this is
what I want
based
you to
on
understand when you
that
look at this,
document
their
Ethan was
defense
looking at, but a
is
bit
that
more
Denims filed
broken
her
down.
answer on the 14th, and Kaceytron filed on the 15th. So this is something that happened just a couple days ago, right? So it's very fresh legally. Almost nobody has covered this. Certainly people
No.
haven't read it in detail. And what I
You
did
were the
was
first.
I read the entire document, both of them, and I looked at what they had in
You got no
common,
life, bro,
and I
but
wanted
thank you.
to
Respect.
present the defenses they have in
Alright, we're
common.
gonna speed this
Now,
up.
Just so you understand, an answer has two things. It has
Tell
a
me
section
legal
which
mindset.
talks about the paragraphs in the complaint, and they go paragraph by paragraph, and they say we agree with this paragraph,
Yep.
we disagree with
Okay.
this paragraph, or we don't have
Sure,
enough
I understand.
knowledge to agree or disagree, and we
I
can't
understand. I understand.
right? Or it's a legal conclusion, and we cannot say because it's a legal conclusion. So that part that talks about whether they agree, disagree, or whether they don't know about the
Well,
entire
come on,
complaint.
get
which is
in
very
on it,
long,
get on it,
paragraph by
bro.
paragraph. That part is boring as hell, and to read through that is like reading
Fair
a
enough.
grind. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to talk about is
I
the
love
second
his
part of the answer,
PowerPoints.
where they go into what's
I
called
love
affirmative
PowerPoints.
defenses. So these are the
It's
defenses
easy to
that
read.
they are raising to
Minimal
Klein's lawsuit.
information,
And
but
affirmative
enough
defense
to
means
know
even
where you're
if
headed.
Ethan Klein is right, I'm
And
going to get away
insightful.
with it because X. So we're going to score all of those. I'm going to explain to you the law.
Ah,
I'm
come
going
on,
to
bro.
explain to you what each of those defenses is. Now, so the responses are very generic, mostly non-committal denials.
Should get that 8 minutes
So we're going to
of
focus on what's interesting because I don't like doing boring. And then they go line
time.
by line, paragraph by paragraph, saying paragraph
Gotta
1
get
contains
that
legal
fucking
conclusions to which no response is required.
CPM up.
Defendant denies the allegations in paragraph 2. Paragraph 3, defendant lacks sufficient knowledge. Paragraph 4, defendant denies. Legal conclusions.
I mean-
legal conclusions, lacks knowledge. Admits. So once again, in 10, they admit that. So you'd have to go back there and say, okay, what did they say? By the way, usually the only thing they admit is their name and where they live. Typically, that's it. Typically, they don't admit
Was
anything else
that what it was
other
about?
than that. And that's all.
Why do you even
That's
need to
all
respond to that?
Yeah. So what we're going to go through is not this part about admitting or denying because that's kind of boring. What we're going to scroll down is
It is
all
very
these affirmative defenses
boring.
down here. So failure to state a claim, fair use doctrine, express license, implied license.
So
unclean
this
hands,
is all
waiver,
their.
estoppel, justification, excuse, consent, innocent infringement, no injury and damage.
This is their actual defenses and responses to the lawsuit.
Good faith, inequitable conduct, unjust enrichment, latches.
This is
no
the
direction of copyright,
meaty
lack of
main
notice,
bits.
reservation of additional damages. So we're going to talk more. The reservation we're not going to talk
And
about.
how
That's kind of a catch-all. But all the
fucked
rest
they
we're going to go
are.
through, and I'm going to score those. And for some of these, ladies and gentlemen,
Completely gonna be
some of
sucking
these defenses,
fucking
I
dried.
genuinely believe.
I hope they got money. I
I'm not
hope
kidding. I don't know
Denims
what the legality of
OnlyFans
marijuana
fucking
is
going well.
in the state in which they're practicing. But I do think that their lawyer could have been ingesting cannabis at that time. Now, I'm not saying it's negligent, but I'm saying
That is a
very-
crazy thing to say about someone's lawyer. See, this is when he goes on these little tangents. I'm like, is he actually a? I know he's actually a lawyer, but I mean, shit. So is he good? He can be something and be fucking terrible. Like, how true is what he's saying will happen?
creative.
Like, as you see, he gives like a 3 out of 10 chance that the defense will hold up. How real factual is that legal
If
mindset?
you know what I'm saying. If
That's
you know
what
I'm
I
saying.
question.
I looked at that, and I actually
Until
had to
it's
look
done,
up
it's obviously
some of the defenses
subjective.
because they just pulled them out of nowhere.
But how
and
good is
literally
he
there are certain
at being a
defenses they
lawyer?
use that
He
aren't
could be
even real
trash.
in this area of law. I'm going to say that again.
We don't know
because I think
that.
the process-
It's not much
Some of these
information.
defenses don't even exist for copyright infringement. It's as if this lawyer doesn't have a lot of experience.
See,
in
this
copyright
doesn't make
infringement, or
sense.
He wants to try some crazy stuff.
How's it
and
that
he's just
bad
throwing
of a
spaghetti at the wall,
lawyer
and he
out
sees what
there?
sticks. I'm not saying he's committing malpractice or he's not competent. I'm just saying
Save
it's very
yourself.
creative. We're going to use that word. We're gonna use that word.
Creative.
Very creative. That's it. So let's get into the key accusations. Oh,
I hope he's right.
let me continue.
This is what I
First
want to
offense.
hear. Fuck them.
So this is the
Fuck
first
these
of the
people.
affirmative defenses. So the first affirmative defense is failure to state a claim. What failure to state a claim is it says even if all the facts are true, in a complaint, they do not establish a valid legal cause of action. This is saying they're going to be able to remove this on a motion to dismiss. Are they going to be able to argue
Okay,
that
so
there is no
even if all the facts presented in a complaint are true, they do not establish a valid legal cause of action. So they're saying, yes, okay, you're right. What we did was copyright infringement. That is true. It wasn't used for fair use. Well, okay. Do we actually... Is that even legal then? I mean, it is, right?
claim here. This is an extremely weak argument.
Well,
Yes,
how could you sue
can
for
make
that?
the argument. It's not an impermissible or impossible argument, but it's extremely weak, and the likelihood of success is cope. The likelihood of success
I don't get
is
this one.
cope for the affirmative defense of failure to state a claim. The motion to dismiss will 100% be denied.
So I don't get
There's
it,
no way they're gonna
because-
win on motion to dismiss. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
Next is fair use. Now
weird.
this is their strongest of all.
This
defenses.
is always
And
going
I
to be
give
their
it a 5
strongest
out of 10,
defense.
which is the most I'm going to give for any of the affirmative.
This is always going to be, if accused of copyright infringement, use of copyrighted material, so this is all under what they've done, falls under fair use exception, and therefore not infringement. So this is the main thing. Will the judge think that what they did was fair use? And it was always going to be to do with this. Everything else is just fluttery shit. You just put in a lawsuit on their end.
defenses. So if
And I guess
accused,
Ethan Klein's
copyright
in.
of copyright infringement, use of the
But this
copyright
was always
falls under
it.
the fair use
This is
exception
what
is
he's
therefore not
doing.
infringement.
He's suing
This is a
for.
5 out of 10. It is a toss-up, but the odds are in Klein's favor. So I would say if you really had to say, okay, in terms of arguments, because my strength of argument means, is this a killer argument? Is it like totally a winner? Can they make
It's
persuasively,
depending
or
on
do
the
they not?
judge
I think it's a toss-up.
and how
They've
they
got
feel.
some facts
Isn't that
they may be
crazy?
able to argue.
One
Some
person
case precedents may
decides.
be able to argue. So that's why I give them a 5. I'm trying to be very generous. I'm trying not to be unfair here. For affirmative defenses, this is the one where they need to spend the most time. Everything else,
I think there's
is not
too
as
many
strong as this.
damning
They have one other,
conversations that they've had with other
which
people
maybe
that
you could argue, but it's not as strong.
tell
as
them that they did it in bad faith.
it's not as strong as fair use.
Especially
So I
Casey
think it's toss-up in
Strong.
Klein's favor. Okay, next,
She's
express
cooked,
license.
bro.
What this means is, did Ethan Klein
Express license. Plaintiff cannot claim infringement against defendant who uses plaintiff's copyrighted work if the plaintiff granted the defendant an express license to use the work. There is clear there is clips of Ethan Klein say people can use my work for fair use. He did not say copyrighted work, and he did not give them express license to use the work at all. He didn't say, Denims, Kaceytron, I have copyrighted this video. You can do whatever, I give you permission, you do whatever you want. You can sit there and just watch it and call it a day. Do you see a clip of him doing that? Or any information regarding him doing that? No.
Give Kaceytron and Denims permission expressly to write it. So a plaintiff
Unless he's
cannot claim
hiding.
infringement
And
against a
this is
defendant
their
who
big
uses plaintiff's
fucking
copyright work.
Thanos,
Copyright work
the
if the
fucking
plaintiff granted
Infinity
the defendant
Stone.
an express license to use the work. So if you said, you can use this, it's okay, you can copy this, then you've got no express license.
He
especially if
did
you
not
put that in writing.
specifically do that for this
Put that in
video
writing.
to
I think this is
Kaceytron
a weak argument
and
because there is
Denims.
no, and the likelihood of success is unlikely because there's no written or specific license. There's nowhere where there is a written or specific license
there's not.
to use this content. Now,
There's not.
there's implied license. This is different.
That's
This is different. This is a little bit better. This is the
implied-
second
yeah,
best defense
that's
in everything. The
on those
second
clips
best
that he
defense.
said.
Not perfect. Not perfect. But the second best.
Did
So
he
you could
imply it?
argue, about permission? Once again, the defense is permission to use something copyrighted material, to use some copyrighted material.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
not
It's
explicitly granted, but it's
it was nowhere
inferred
near
from
the same
conduct of the
time
owner or the
period.
circumstances. So this is a very generous ranking. A very generous ranking. Once again, I'm trying to be fair and professional, and I'm trying not to be,
Wasn't
be biased here, so I'm
implied
gonna
at
be very
all.
generous. Ethan Klein did at some point make a general statement about how he treats people using his content.
But you can say he was talking about content on his podcast. He said that statement while he was on his podcast talking about it. Talking about clip channels and stuff, clipping his podcast. He didn't say videos. He didn't come out on the H3 Productions channel and state that you can do whatever you want with my videos. I think even that little tweak, that little difference is important too.
However, he did not say, I give you permission to take the entire video with minimal content. And he also did not say, I give you permission to maliciously redirect
He didn't
traffic.
say that about
So I
H3
think it's gonna be difficult
Productions.
to argue that.
It was
However,
on the
it is
podcast
easier
when he
to
said
argue
that
implied
about his
license
podcast clips.
than it is to argue express license. So this might be
That's what I
more
would be
possible.
arguing.
Once again, I give this at best, a 30 or 40% shot. And that would be me being very, very, very generous. Me being very generous for a 30 or 40% shot. Versus it's a toss-up, maybe like a 45% chance on fair use because you never really know which way it goes. I think 65% in favor of Ethan, 45% the other way because you really never know. This one's more like 20, 30%.
Nah.
Much lower.
Hopefully no chance.
Yeah, he definitely. So an express license means in writing. He never gave them writing, or an email or something like that. Implied means the conduct, meaning, oh hey,
Gave them
we're
nothing.
all streamers. We're all streamers. Every streamer copies somebody. No. In fact, if you
This
look
is
at the overall
YouTube, buddy.
environment, streamers strike each other all the time. Streamers strike each other over petty stuff, over stuff
Yeah,
that's
they
clearly
do,
fair
they
use,
do.
all the time. So it's
All
not
the
streamer culture
time.
to do this. Unclean
They
hands.
strike
I
me.
love unclean hands. It
I haven't
sounds
done
funny.
anything.
Your hands are unclean. Go wash them.
Unclean hands. Someone who has behaved badly in a specific situation they are suing about cannot then ask a court to help them.
Go wash your hands. Your dirty, unclean hands. So this one means that someone has
I don't think he has behaved badly.
in the specific situation they're suing about, so they cannot.
That's
support.
very
so
subjective.
By asserting unclean hands, both Kaceytron and Denims are saying that Ethan Klein did something naughty, and therefore he can't sue. And I think what they're trying to say is him
That he
setting a
didn't,
copyright
copyright
track is unclean
track,
hands.
that he
The
didn't
problem
tell
is
them
it's
about
not
it.
It's not illegal or impermissible
There
or
you go.
dirty or not practical. Many people
That's the main
register
thing,
copyright. In fact,
is what
you
he
should do.
is
In fact, you have to
suing
encourage to
and
register
how he
copyright.
went about it,
So this
illegal
seems
or
like
not.
a very, very weak argument. I give it a 2 out of 10, and that's me being generous. Generous. And the likelihood of success being cope. Waiver. For waiver, what this says is the plaintiff
A
waived a
waiver.
right
Plaintiff waived right relevant to their claim.
relevant to their claim. So what right
0
did Ethan
out
Klein
of 10.
waive relevant to the claim? He hasn't waived
Nothing.
anything. He hasn't waived anything at all. In fact, he's reserved all of his rights. So by
Doesn't
arguing
even make
waiver, Casey
sense to
Denims
have this
and their
on
lawyer are just
the
making this up. I don't see where this is coming
response.
from at all. So I say once again, this is the cope.
None of this makes sense.
Estoppel. Now this one, I
Only
think
the
it's
copyright
arguable, but not
infringement
likely.
one.
It's weaker than implied license. It's probably it's probably not a 4.5. It's probably like a 3.5. But estoppel is a concept. Which
Adding
prevents
these
a
all
plaintiff
together,
from asserting a
could it make it 50-50? I mean, it's 50-50. He wins or he doesn't, right? estoppel prevents a plaintiff from asserting a legal claim that contradicts their prior actions or statements, particularly if it would be unfair to the defendant.
Legal claim that contradicts their prior actions or statements, particularly if it would be unfair to the defendant. So it's sort of like an implied license. You could say, okay,
he
because of
didn't
the conduct
ever
of the
give
implied
them.
fact and the implied license, there's
He
sort of like an
didn't.
estoppel here
So
that should
this
come out.
is
I still think it's unlikely. 20% would be very generous. 20-30% would be generous with this
I
one.
wish he
So
never
I
said
think this
that.
one,
If
yes,
he
you
had
can
never
argue
said
it,
that
yes,
on
it's
his
better than-
podcast
it's a hell of a lot better
for
than waiver.
people to
I mean, waiver's a
do
joke.
fair
Waiver's
use
embarrassing.
clips.
Waiver is like, what are you doing here?
Damn,
But
this would be
estoppel, okay,
even.
I see it.
These would be all
It's not going
zeros.
to win, but once again, remember, guys, even with really crappy clients, and I trust me, guys, Denims and Kaceytron clients, they're very bad clients. I would never want those clients. Never. You still have to try. And if you
Isn't
tell them
that
throw
funny
the,
to
throw the
say?
kitchen sink in them,
That
you
is
do that.
crazy to say, legal.
Okay, this is a funny one.
But it's true.
Justification
Fucking
and excuse. So,
defendant admits to committing the act. This is crazy that you can even put this in a lawsuit. Defendant admits to committing the act, but argues that circumstances justify or excuse their actions. Like the good old, my kid needs treatment as soon as possible in the hospital. So the dad comes in with a gun, shuts the hospital down, and gets them treated. And, you know, puts them at the top of the triage, so to speak. Yes, I committed that crime of holding the whole hospital down, but, you know, the circumstances justify it and excuse it that my child was dying.
defendant, that is Kaceytron and Denims,
These
are
never
saying
work,
that they
these
admit to committing the
arguments.
crime, but they argue that the circumstances justify or excuse their action. Giving this a 3 out of 10.
Or, you know, like going to the chemist and stealing fucking insulin pumps or something, or well, just insulin. You know, something you need as a diabetic. Yes, you stole. Is it justified that you stole to live?
Was really because I looked through the entire thing and I give them so many ones.
That's
and
too
zeros,
deep for
I
this
had to try to
channel.
give them some threes
Too
because I wanted to be
deep.
fair. But what is the justification? Because Ethan Klein is a bad human being because he's a Yahtzee. The law doesn't.
There is
apply
no
differently to people
justification.
because you
That's
think
the
they're a bad human
problem.
being
This
subjectively.
shouldn't be here.
So I don't know what justification or
Denims,
excuse they have to come up
Kaceytron.
with. Maybe
Did you
they
even
tried to
read
argue
any of
implied license
this?
or estoppel and justification or excuse
Did they get a
are part
chance
of
to
that,
read this?
but I just don't see it as being a winning argument. I see it as sub 10%
I don't know.
chance here. So this was a pity 3. This was a pity 3. It really should be a 2.
If I
Honestly, it should
if
be a
I
2.
was had a lawyer
I
and he
give it a
came to me with this shit, I'm like,
Okay,
bro,
consent.
we're
Consent.
fucked.
This is sort of like implied license.
Okay, admitting infringement was committed asserts that there are additional factors that justify or excuse the action or otherwise negate the plaintiff's claim.
As well. So they admit that the
Pretty
infringement
much the same kind of
was
thing.
committed, but assert there are additional facts that justify or excuse the action. So once
I
again,
don't
just
see
counsel
any
and
additional
justification,
facts.
and otherwise negate the
I don't
plaintiff's
see
claim.
anything.
Did Ethan Klein consent to it through implication?
Oh, so sorry, I didn't get to have my coffee. I ran out of milk. What was I going to say? There's no additional facts. That excuses this. Everything you can come up with just falls flat. You can say, like, "Oh, we had to watch this to stand up for Hasan, and we couldn't just let him gain these views and whatnot. You know, for the greater good, we are shutting down a Jew." You know, it just doesn't work. You have to think about the end goal. You know, these arguments need to be laid out properly. This just goes nowhere. Like, what can you? Where's this? What are their excuses? I can't think of any.
Maybe. You know, I think 10-15%
Nothing.
chance at most, likelihood of success.
There are
very,
no
very low.
excuses.
And the argument very weak.
You just
Innocent
copied it.
infringement. Oh, it's
It's
an
not
innocent
fair
infringement. It's a
use.
cute infringement. It's a
So innocent infringement. Yeah, I mean the problem is, Denims is she's on file, so to speak, on video, saying she acknowledges that what she does is not fair use. So
type of infringement you can bring home to grandma, right?
she really knows.
No. Innocent infringement.
Innocent infringement's like, oh yeah, I really fucked up. I acknowledge that I fucked up. I didn't know this was actually breaking the law. I will, I will take accountability, but for whatever reason, maybe this is my first time doing it, or there's a whole bunch of reasons why. Can you please reduce the damages? You've owned up to it. You didn't do it maliciously, really. That's malicious. But unfortunately, they're on file of saying they're doing it maliciously.
Actually, in a weird way, I give it a 4 out of 10 because it's not actually a full defense. So what innocent infringement is it means it can reduce the damages that the court awards on a copyright infringement case. It is not a complete defense to liability.
I mean, yeah,
I think
it's
this
not.
one is plausible because they could take some sympathy or pity on.
The problem is, like I said, is they're on file saying that they understood what they were doing.
On them.
Well, Denims anyway.
Reduce the damages. That is possible. The judge can do that. So they can say, okay, it is infringement, but it's relatively innocent, so let's reduce the damages and not have.
They could still happen.
So I think it's arguable. I think it's
They
unlikely to make the damages zero.
They could
but I
get
think it's
this.
Arguable. It is arguable.
They
So
could get
I'm
this,
okay with
yeah.
that. Inequitable conduct. So there is.
I mean, you've still technically lost, but it's not a straight loss, right? Not as worse as it could be. Inequitable conduct. Well, there's not a patent, so I don't know why that's in.
Patent law. Remember, this is copyright law. Copyright law is not patent law.
Law is trying to do some
Okay?
1,000
So
IQ thing.
their lawyer is literally using an argument from patent law, saying that a patent applicant misrepresents or omits material information with the intent to deceive the patent and trademark office.
There's not enough
This is
information
literally a
provided
non-existent
around
argument,
this.
which is
Why
impossible,
was
which
this
only
in
applies
it?
for patents, not copyright. This is the dumbest thing that I've seen in
Yeah,
a while.
what-
Where a lawyer
did
is
he
gonna
copy
argue
and
law
paste
from an
from the
area that we're
wrong
not even talking
lawsuit?
about. And he does it multiple times. This is one time. He does it
$80,000.
another time too, which is like blows my mind.
I don't know.
Maybe he's trying to make a unique argument and saying, even though this exists in patent law, you judge, I want you, in this case, to make this up. But what doesn't make any sense is this
The
usually
judge
only
isn't
applies
gonna
to
be
patent
doing
office. So what
that.
are you saying? They deceive the
You think they're going to be
copyright
making
office?
shit up?
I don't think so, and it's proper the
Oh,
orbiters. We're Kaceytron
unjust
and Denims,
enrichment. One party unfairly benefit at the expense of another without proper compensation. One party unfairly benefited. So Ethan did not benefit from you stealing his video and not getting ad revenue and whatnot. And
The only people who unfairly made
doesn't
money
make
were the
sense.
orbiters. It was not
None of
Ethan Klein. How did Ethan
I don't
Klein
really
unfairly
understand how the
benefit? It
lawyer can
makes
put
no
this
sense
together.
whatsoever. Where did his money
Someone
come
who's
from?
gone
Where
to
did his money come from
uni.
him?
Is
And
there
again,
something
this
huge
is
that we're
massively
missing?
appropriate.
That's why I'm so
Saying that Ethan Klein was unjustly
confused. I'm
enriched.
not
What
ready
are you
to just
talking
jump
about?
on the bandwagon. But
Latches. The
this
defendant
is
can
an
argue
easy
plaintiff waited too
W.
long to sue, and that the delay unfairly harms the defendant.
No,
This one is another one that is
this
so
is
brain dead.
fucking.
This is
I
completely brain dead.
agree.
It's near impossible. I give it a 0.5. I wanted to give it a 0, but Tech literally sued immediately. That's their argument. I need to make this clear. The lawyer is not doing anything illegal. He is entitled to make.
Hey,
these
you're
defenses.
entitled to
But
do
I'm
whatever
also
you
entitled
want,
to tell you that these defenses are absolute doggy doo-doo.
bro.
Because they
You reckon Denims and Frogan hop online and watch these videos? They must be so far up their fucking asshole. They probably sit here and just laugh and say, "No, this is so untrue. You have no idea what you're talking about."
are doggy doo-doo. A big steaming pile. Not just a little chihuahua pile. It's a Great Dane-sized pile.
What do they?
Doggy
They're the brain?
So let's just continue
Fucking hell.
to sniff this mess, if you will.
I don't get it.
Failure to register copyright. This
So it was copyrighted. It was registered. How's this on the lawsuit?
one I had to put at a 0. So they make the affirmative defense that while registration isn't required for copyright protection,
This is
it's
fucking
necessary
weird.
to file a lawsuit for infringement.
Truly
This is another
weird.
argument that is brain dead because it's a 0. Because
It's 100%.
Defendant.
It would be funny if
So,
it wasn't
once again, I
registered.
think he just copied.
If Ethan didn't register it properly, this all comes undone. It's over.
He pasted a list or just threw everything on
Fuck.
the wall. But
Imagine
this
that the one thing he had to do, he
is going
doesn't
to be
register
absolutely blown out of
properly.
water. So lack of notice. Defendants were
No.
unaware and could not have known about the lawsuit. Therefore, it does not be held liable. This is one I wanted to give another 0 as well. How are you going to be answering a lawsuit?
I don't
So you've
get
already
it.
answered the lawsuit, and you're saying you have no notice? What are you talking about?
I don't know
You
what
know
that
the lawsuit's
means.
happening, and you have notice, proper notice, etc. You have notice of the copyright,
How
etc.
can
So
you, how's this even in the
where's this
law
lack of
to
notice
be
coming
able
from? I
to
don't understand this.
put as a defense? That's
Complete
a
hope.
big
And
problem.
typically, this is another one. That lack of notice is typically only used for premises liability. So for example, this one typically works, for example, if you walk onto somebody's property and they have an alligator pit and they fall in the alligator pit. So if I, as a Florida man, right, if I build in my Florida man house, you know, in Kissimmee, right, I build an alligator and I hide it under some leaves, and you fall in the alligator pit, and I didn't tell you there's an alligator pit, but I invited you over. You'd say, hey, I had lack of notice, right?
True.
I know idea that was there. Or if there's something I should have told you
That's
about.
definitely what happened in
For
this
example,
case.
let's say I had
What else could it be? Defendant unaware and could not have reasonably known about it. Therefore, they should not be held liable. Yeah, construction, going on to construction places. That's why builders always need to be there watching you, or you need to put safety PPP on. Client handover in hospitals. If you don't do the correct client handover and you don't tell people where the patient's up to, and the next nurse doesn't know, and something happens.
a bunch of plants
Lack of
that were
notice.
really made of super brittle glass.
Could
If
happen.
you touch the plant, they would shatter in a million pieces. And you touch the plant, it shatters, and I sue you. And you could say, well, I have lack of notice. You should have notified me not to touch the plant. So let's continue with the rest of the defenses here. Oh, wait, sorry. We
That's
to
got
the end.
nothing to
So
do with
lack of
this.
notice. Not going to happen. It's cope. Failure to register. Cope. Impossible. Latches. Cope. Unjust enrichment. Cope.
It's all cope.
Inequitable conduct. Impossible.
Cope.
Good
Cope.
faith. Cope.
Cope. Cope.
No injury
Cope.
or damage. Cope.
I really hope this is
Consent,
true.
Unlikely.
I
Justification.
really hope
Excuse,
he's not
unlikely. Estoppel,
gassing
unlikely.
this up
Waiver,
for clicks.
Unclean hands. Cope.
He could be
Impli-
gassing this up for clicks. Can't do anything about it.
License
He can
unlikely.
do whatever he wants.
Express license unlikely. Fair use, the only toss-up.
Well,
And
that
fair
was
use
always
is
going to be the
You
strongest
can see
one.
without a doubt, objectively, as I go through that, it is mostly cope. It is mostly cope. We are not in a situation.
So we're
where this
in
is
like
something
a.
that I would say, okay, this is
That's it.
this is something where
I'll finish it off.
it's going to be a reasonable argument other than fair use. I think they got to stick to fair use as
Yeah.
the core defense and focus on that all the time on the.
That makes
Other stuff, really
most
not worth
sense. Kaceytron and everyone. I don't want to give you any tips, but you should be getting all these other arguments out. Maybe keep one, and just sticking to fair use, because that is the bread and butter of this lawsuit. Anyway, I hope they fucking lose. There'll be more to come, so much more to come. My opinion is I do not like Denims, I do not like Kaceytron, and I do not like Frogan. They have grifted and added nothing to the destruction that is happening and the genocide and the starvation in Palestine. They are not helping them. They will never help those people. They sit in their fucking little rooms talking about shit that means jack all, that they know nothing about. They hardly provide any context. They're fucking horrible people. And there's just really... Denims anyways has fucking gooners after her on OnlyFans. They're just the degenerates of the internet. They really are. They should create their own locale. Locale live. No, fuck them. Honestly, fuck them. They have a collective IQ of about 100. I'm fucking sick of seeing their fucking face. It pisses me the fuck off. Fuck all of them. Frogan, Denims, Kaceytron, go fuck yourselves. And I hope I never see you guys again in the future.
Sunday afternoon,
Anyway.
I'm relaxing with
We're going to watch the next video. Ethan Klein. Hasan. My good friend Hasan Piker. Just running his mouth 8 hours a day. Just making up shit, talking about whatever comes to his mouth. Just fucking... He's like a fucking monkey in a factory. Just typewriting some response. And at some point, you're going to make the fucking Bible, right? This guy is a degenerate fucking loser. I do not like Hasan. If you enjoy Hasan's content and you're a viewer, this is not the channel for you. You can fuck the right off. I do not give a fuck about your opinion. He has done nothing again for Palestine. He never will. He is just a fraud who just benefits off the movement. And any movement he attaches to, he just rides it. He doesn't give a fuck about you. Doesn't give a fuck about the viewers. He's just getting his money, getting paid, and he's so fucking anti-capitalistic, isn't he? Anyway, that's my little rant. I fucking hate Hasan, always will. Fuck off if you like him. You need to look at your life.
My family. And I get a text from a friend with a link to a video in it. And it's a video of my good old friend Hasan Piker
What has he done now?
Hila would be a valid military target. Let's take a look.
DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants. Okay,
This is
it is
a
perfectly
crazy
legal,
clip.
perfectly valid, and perfectly moral. Okay, 100%. This is not like a black and this is not a gray area.
This is
black
disgusting
and
to
white.
say.
Okay, it doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel's in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. 2 crimes in and of itself.
So, to give him the benefit of the doubt, what he's saying, I don't have a problem exactly with what he's saying until the end.
And every
This
type
bit.
of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli.
He could have just said this, and it's like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough,
occupying
right?
force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like
This-
that participate in these raids.
Adding this bit in is just gross, disingenuous. It's just stinky.
Doesn't matter if
So, Hasan has been trying.
So, why he would add your ex-co-host's wife, who has not been in Israel, not being a part of the IDF for over 10 years, and did fuck all in the IDF. Why you add, out of everyone that you want to call out, the end of that statement, you add Hila at the end of that? It is he's just grifting. It's a grift statement. It doesn't make sense. You could choose anyone to be at the end of that statement that has done million times worse, more things than him, than her, sorry. It does not make sense. It really does not make sense to say that specific point.
To claim
I'm
that
sorry.
he meant
No matter what you say, you will not change my fucking mind.
only people during the raid would be legit to exact violence on it. But even if it's true that that's what he meant, why is he making it sound like she escaped justice? Wouldn't that justify a form of
It's
justice catching
so
up to her? Right?
strange.
It's something she has coming.
Someone who has nothing to do with IDF, and it's a scripted, mandatory service that you would fucking do yourself. If you were 18 and you had to do mandatory service in your country, you would fucking do it. Don't you fucking sit there and say you fucking wouldn't, or you're going to end up in jail. You would not do that. You'd be hopping into the fucking army, do your 1 year or whatever, and get the fuck out. Or how many years? Sometimes 3. Don't sit there and say you wouldn't. You're going to go to jail for 3 years at 18, at the peak of your life? Fuck off.
Why even include a specific person who hasn't served in the military in 20 years? Why does he mix up past and present tense while he's discussing this? You know, is this a responsible
It's disgusting.
use of his words
There's
and his
no
platform?
reason.
Don't you think that even if what you're saying is true and you meant only people on that raid
There's
would
so
deserve
many
violence, that
worse
invoking
people.
a specific person is really
Like, you just pick some podcaster's wife on the internet. You don't even pick any military sergeant or fucking government worker or any, like, so weird. It just goes to show he doesn't give a fuck about it. I mean, what is Hila Klein doing to destroy Gaza? What is she doing? Making fucking t-shirts in her company and making socks and designing art. How is that got to do with destruction
appropriate
in Gaza right now?
and true.
You're fucking
And doesn't that have the
freaks
risk
if you
for
believe
provoking the craziest people in your audience to think that maybe it
anything
would be a
like
good idea
that.
to kill my wife. Right?
There's no
Like,
reason.
What are we talking about, dude? And also, Hila was a secretary, okay?
No
Him
reason to
and all
bring
of his
that
friends
up.
here, they're trying to invoke the image that Hila was somehow some commando that was constantly going into raids and kidnapping people in their sleep. She was not in a combat role. She was a secretary. She never fired a bullet outside of basic
Just
training.
remember,
okay?
He has no fuck all idea what happened on the one single raid that she went on.
And Hila is what these people always dream about. She's an Israeli Jew that left Israel. She's an American citizen of 15 years now, a mother of 3. This is the idea of the perfect Israeli, one that leaves.
It's
Despite
weird
all
to
that,
bring up her
Hasan
name.
is suggesting that it would be a moral victory for someone to murder her. This is actually the 4th or 5th time someone has directly called for violence against me or Hila on Twitch since
If I was
October
them, I would
7th.
never be leaving my house.
And so far, none of these
That's
people
why they cancelled the live shows.
have been punished for making these threats. And I don't expect
You'd be
Hasan
fucking
to meet any
shot.
repercussions for this either. Right? And Hasan himself has a troubling history of calling for political violence. Here is the infamous tweet he made to Tom Cotton, a sitting congressperson. And no matter what you think about Tom Cotton, what Hasan tweeted is fucking mad. This is the gun that a vigilante used to assassinate Shinzo Abe, former Prime Minister of Japan. This is the schematics, the exact gun he used to assassinate this guy. So, I mean, he is directly suggesting that somebody make this gun and start killing politicians. There's no other way to interpret this. But nothing seemed to really happen from that. This is his most recent one.
This is not helping anyone in
Rick Scott.
Palestine.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
There's about 50.
So this is, once again, Hasan referring to a sitting congressperson looking straight into the camera and saying, kill Rick Scott. Of course, he'll explain it as Rick Scott committed some Medicare fraud and yada, yada, yada. But again, he has a massive platform and a responsibility to choose his words carefully. He can't be doing this and then also claim that he's against political violence. It's just not what he's exhibiting. And once again, there was a recent example of him sitting next to the great Taylor Lorenz, laughing about how an official was forced to resign after receiving death threats. He's applauding it. Go ahead.
874 Bellevue Drive, and
He
I'm gonna kill
is
you with my AR-15.
making so
Like,
much
that's
money
the-
from
that's the
everyone
type of
who
messages
watches
they were
him.
leaving in this dude's office.
So much
and
money.
He's resigning.
He doesn't give a fuck
like, he's
about
literally-
anything
This is his
else.
last term. So I think that people are a
All
lot
these
more
people here
radical
is
now.
so
This
fake.
is an unprecedented time to really get
They have
others on
2
board,
IQ.
to explain to them that it's not your neighbors, it's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis, not a trans person. I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Devers and Parvas on board with that, like White Wymons. And you actually wrote about this,
No,
and it was a great video where you
what-
talked about, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
He's
Which
so
is,
dumb.
I think that shows that there's a
These
lot
people
of
are
anger, a
fucking
lot of
on crack,
resentment,
bro.
and untapped potential, untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think, in these unprecedentedly horrible times.
So when he says someone has to do it, he's referring
This
of
is
course,
just
to
so
the act
common.
of assassinating the president. Now, I hate Trump as much as any other lib. but I
Yeah,
am
me
not-
too. I fucking hate Trump. Yeah, I think he's just a fucking loony. Look, I don't hate him, but to have him as the president is fucking diabolical, really. What his status is with the Epstein stuff, unless there's something proven, I can't definitively say anything about him. But obviously he's done stuff on the record that is publicly known, and he's been enforced in court of being certain things. And fuck that guy, really. But you put to talk about someone's life and about assassinating and stuff is...
I do not want anybody to kill the president.
That is
I don't think
too
that would
crazy.
help. I think
You
that would
can't just
probably not
be-
help. But that's the point. That's what he doesn't want it to help. He
Can't
wants
just be putting that
he
out
wants
there, I
to
agree.
collapse society, frankly, so he can, usher in this revolutionary period. Do you guys know what stochastic terrorism is? You hear this term thrown around a lot, but let me define it for you. Stochastic
Define.
terrorism refers to the public use of inciting rhetoric, often vague or coded, by an influential figure to provoke violence from a predisposed individual or group, with the perpetrator able to plausibly
All
deny
he does
responsibility
is
for the results of
promote violence.
It's a form of political violence where the
Hasan.
instigator's actions
It's
are not a direct
horrible
call to
for
violence,
that.
but rather a calculated use of language that is statistically likely to incite violence in a suspected individual. This is, when I read this, it kind of blew my mind, because this describes to a exact T the kind of language, the pattern of language we're seeing Hasan deploying. This is it, in his own words.
And nothing will happen to Hasan. He's going to take all your money, drift off being a fucking... He's going to be a grifter doing anti-capitalism, pretending he's a socialist. but it's not true. How, I argue a lot with the people on Reddit, fucking Hasan fans all the time. The person on the other end, Hasan fans, is me. I'm the one in the fucking comments giving you shit. You're arguing against people like me.
By the way, and very ironically,
I can't fucking
Hasan
stand
said
you
this
guys.
to me when I was on his podcast.
I think he is.
How
a
you watch
narcissist.
him?
I mean, when you watch that
don't
video,
understand.
the narcissism rage at CoffeeZilla was insane because his video was
Well,
just.
I mean, it's posturing, man.
I
If you're going to
No,
court,
he was so wrong about everything.
yeah, but listen, if we've learned anything about the court of public opinion, it is deny, deny, deny. If you let on any kind of, I should apologize for this, then the mob, then the horde has something to latch their teeth into. If you go with the Donald Trump school of medicine, no, you're simply wrong. What do you think you'll see you in court? People go, oh, there might be something to that.
Yeah, you deny, you deflect, and then you counterattack the person who launched this investigation on you. And you try to claim that there's a hidden bias there. And most lizard brain dipshits who love you unconditionally will go, oh, finally I have an out to defend this person, right?
Now, even when he told me that, I was thinking in my head, you've thought a lot about this. I haven't thought about it this, that deep. And if you go back, though, every
It's
time
so
Hasan is accused of something,
telling,
this is
man.
exactly what he does.
It's
is
so
his playbook.
telling.
Never apologize. Always double down. Always accuse your accusers of being hallucinating, crazy, etc. This is exactly his playbook.
Oh, I hate
Since
Hasan.
Hasan and
Hate his
many of his
voice.
friends
Hate
have
what he
employed this
stands
violent
for.
rhetoric against me and my family,
Stands
me
for
and
nothing,
Hila
it's
rarely leave our
fucking
house or
jelly.
make public appearances because of the constant
That's
and
all,
overwhelming
he's a
sense of
fucking
danger.
jellyfish.
The last 2 years, we've spent more time
Does
inside
nothing.
than ever before. And
Just
we
sits
haven't-
on a
we stopped
beach.
doing our biannual live shows.
Fucking
Right,
stuck.
for over a year because of the fear of violence being enacted not just on us,
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't
on
be
our fans and our
fucking
crew.
going out there.
This, by the way, is resulting in the crew directly losing money as these live shows, we would donate the entire
True,
box
true,
office to
true.
the crew.
They
And we
did,
this
they
twice
did.
a year. It was a significant source of
And a
revenue for
lot
them.
more. He
It's now
donates a
been
lot
shut
of
off
money
out
to
of
the
fear.
crew.
We've been forced to hire a
And the only problem lately that I've been having with the crew is they do not fucking stand up for what is right. None of them.
full-time guard at the
They,
office.
they don't speak out on anything like this on the
Because everyone in the
podcast.
office was feeling unsafe. And me and Hila are both waiting for
I
our
don't
concealed carry
understand.
license so that we can finally feel safe in public again, which is not easy to get in California, and it's going to take over a year probably. And I usually choose not to talk about this stuff.
It is
because
tough. They
the
have
provocative-
been confronted in person. Not having that confrontation that they've experienced, it's easy to speak about it. Obviously, you don't want to go outside every time and be confronted about what you said on the show. That, have some loony come up to you. I understand. But fuck me. You've got to take a stand at some point,
Tours
right? I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll revel in it because this is their goal.
Maybe
right?
just shut up.
They want me to
Just
be free.
work.
They want me to be in my house. They want me to avoid doing public.
Don't
events. They
speak
want me to
out for
power.
what's
So
right.
this is very much giving them what they want. However, in this moment, I do feel the entire context of how language like this
It's bad.
affects me and my family and my crew and everybody around me. Twitch has served
And people need
as
to
the most
keep
prolific
talking
source
about
of
it.
leftist radical.
Every time Hasan fucks up, as much as I hate the guy, I will continue to report on it. It needs to
Validation,
be
terrorist
said.
propaganda,
It needs to be
and
put out
anti-West
there by
sentiment.
everyone.
They foster, they elevate, they protect the most dangerous and inflammatory voices. And it's obvious to anyone paying attention that Twitch is being run by ideologues that agree with Hasan. And it's obvious to anyone who's paying attention, they use the terms of
Yeah.
service as a form
Didn't
of
even get
political
banned for it.
activism by harshly punishing people that
How the fuck do you not get banned for saying a statement like that? There's going to be one day, clip this, one day something explosive and crazy is going to come out of Twitch that will be it. Twitch will be done.
they're
It will be
opposed
soon.
to and granting near total
Twitch will not be
immunity and
around in the
impunity
next 5
to
years.
their allies like Hasan. The CEO
I mark my
even stated
words.
on
I wish I
record
could
that
bet
Hasan
on
is
it.
his favorite streamer. In the past, there's been a coordinated pressure campaign against Twitch advertisers, with some success. But the entire Twitch executive team remains
Twitch
protected,
will not
despite
be
the head
around
of inclusive
in the
marketing.
year
the head of inclusive
2030.
marketing once tweeting out,
No
"What is the
fucking
difference
way.
between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid?" And I'll give you a hint as to the answer. It's only one returns from camp. What's the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? Only one returns from
Bro,
camp.
that's
The head of
diabolical.
inclusive marketing at Twitch. Now, this person, as far as I'm
It's
aware,
nothing
has
but
faced
sad.
0 administrative correction and continues to this day
It's
to hold
sad.
her position as head of inclusive marketing at Twitch.
That was in
the irony is
2011.
so thick you could cut it with a knife. Now, while some sponsors have no doubt left, there's still enough remaining that Amazon has not been forced to intervene. And I would encourage
It's hard
anyone
to put those kind of like those screen caps out. It was in 2011, right? People change a lot. I don't know how old she is. She could have been 15 in 2011. Or she could have been fucking 25 or 30 where she should have known better.
Twitch. If you're watching, when you get an ad, write them and say, hey, I would like to know why you are spending directly your dollars to support violent extremism. Why are you supporting a platform that
Yeah, I mean, that's
protects,
like the YouTube
safeguards,
apocalypse
encourages,
again, right? That's what
language
you
like
can
what
do to
Hasan
Twitch.
just deployed against Hila, and show them that. Why is Hasan on the homepage every day? Every
I
day when I
don't
go
know.
there. Why? I want to give a shout out to AT&T, by the way,
views, bro.
who recently has been telling people that they sponsor on Twitch that Hassan's not allowed.
Why aren't you doing the streamer games? AT&T is part of the sponsors. And
How can you
AT&T
listen
doesn't
to
fuck
this
with
guy? This
It is what it
fucking
is.
loser, bro.
So they asked
How
Ludwig,
can you
Hassan's friend, by the way,
even
who very
sit? I
bravely
can't
was
even
like,
sit
"Hey, listen,
through
buddy, you
2
can't be in
minutes
my
of
videos
Hasan
anymore. I'm gonna be your
talking.
friend. I'm gonna openly support you and you know encourage you. My girlfriend's gonna do a podcast with you, et cetera, et cetera. But AT&T, they're crazy. They don't want you in any of our videos. You know, shout out to AT&T. Let's see more of
Hassan's
this and
just a
less of Hasan
fucking
in these
loser.
videos. I'm encouraging you guys to pressure advertisers, to pressure Amazon, pressure Twitch as a last resort. This is a plea
Go do that if
for
you want.
sanity. That something be done before it's too late.
I don't know.
On behalf of myself, my wife, my children,
It
my
might.
crew,
It
all
might
whose
help.
safety has been compromised. To please
Hey, it worked in
help
the
us stop
apocalypse.
this. This is madness. Thank you.
All right, that was it. That was Ethan Klein talking about Hassan's diabolical statement. Look, the statement itself before the Healer Klein is objectively somewhat correct. You know, what he said wasn't wrong. It's just adding the last bit. It's always the last bit. And Legal Mindset's done a little quick facts about commenting on the legality of what he said. You know, it's important to have some kind of... I don't want to just listen to Ethan Klein talk about it, you know?
Terroristic threat against podcaster Ethan Klein's wife, Hila Klein. We'll talk about that in Legal Mindset.
We're nearly getting to the end. Oh, covered a lot today. My God, next time I need to have a coffee.
Please let me know in the comments below and like the video.
We've covered a lot.
Another comment by one Hasan Piker, who has made it kind of his profession of making statements on the internet that draw the line, that really are dancing on the line between free speech and illegality. And this is something he's become very, very adept at just dancing
Every
across this line.
fucking
So
day.
today we're going to get into a particular instance where he
Noise
deemed
the
the
shit
wife
out of me.
podcaster Ethan Klein, Hila Klein, a quote-unquote
No,
valid
we've already
military
gone
target. Now,
through
whether
that.
or not this is illegal, Pat,
Alright.
the deeming
Where's your PowerPoint?
that participate in these raids,
Let's play it one more time,
favorite
because it
podcasters
is
like,
important.
wife that participate in these raids, the violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of
I'll
resistance
slow it down.
against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth. And
no, it's not. If somebody attacks Hila
Go, Asmund.
Klein,
Go,
they're
Asmund.
gonna go to jail. Why is he telling people this?
Because he's cookers, bro.
Why would he be set? What is wrong?
He says these statements on purpose,
So,
don't you?
And he later goes on to talk about the Twitch terms. of
Don't you
service.
think he's out of context or whatnot? He's saying exactly what he wants to say.
Also talk about potentially
You
referring
can't-
this to the FBI. So the kind of
Can't
context is,
sweep
look
it
at
under
this
the
and say,
rug.
Is this a criminal statement? Is this some sort of threat? Like, where's this going? And so I cooked up, of course, a lovely PowerPoint for you guys to talk about. Hasan's
Thank
Hila Klein, whether or
you.
not
We
this
love
is
our
legal or
PowerPoints.
not. Of course. In the past, Hasan has made edgy statements. He's brought people on the podcast, on his podcast, that are indeed questionable. We have, of course, here Timothy Chalamet, or wannabe Luffy over here, a guy who may or may not
Luffy
be affiliated with
Chalamet.
a designated terrorism group. Certainly, he cosplays and dresses up like he is, but perhaps he's denied he, is part of it, etc. But one way or another, Hasan is no stranger to having people on his podcast that at least represent in their external image or project an image of being aligned
Yes,
with a
yes,
Western.
yes. Come on,
a
let's
Western
get
designated,
into
other
it.
globally
We know,
designated
we know.
most over what territory target, which implies that a valid
Okay, Hasan Piker described the wife of Ethan Klein, Hila Klein, as a valid military target. Hila Klein became a U.S. citizen in 2019. Okay.
target
And
means,
that's
as he
really
said,
it.
if you use force against them, and in the larger clip, the broader clip, he
So
mentions
you can look. You can say she was a valid military target while she was in the IDF, going against, I guess, the Palestinians. They have the right to defend themselves to some degree, to defend themselves. The problem I have is What are we talking about here? Why even bring this up with her? Why Hila Klein? Why? You could use this platform to focus on so many other people. Hila Klein?
Use of force.
Why? It's just... If you can't see through that, you've got something wrong with you. I'm sorry.
Of terrorist groups or designated terrorist groups, etc., and says any of those people targeting this person would be a valid military target. Now, the problem here is that Hila Klein, the wife of Klein, became a U.S. citizen in 2019. There was a very public naturalization
She's
process.
so far removed from any of this now.
Find out that she became a U.S. citizen in 2019. Therefore, in present year, 2025, that would be a U.S. citizen. So there is a little bit of a question about targeting a current U.S. citizen by foreign forces or directing threats towards a current U.S. citizen. That is the core of the problem. However, all clips must be taken in full context.
100% facts.
Disclosure, I did watch the entire segment. So while I'm just showing you a portion, because I want to keep this a quick video, I did watch the entire segment. And I always try to be professional and objective.
I tried so hard to find the full clip, couldn't find anything. Couldn't find any source or anyone putting any sources out, Unfortunately, people don't put their sources in anything. We need to go back to putting our sources everywhere, guys. I want to see everything in full context. I don't want to be one of those people that watch a clip without the full context.
One way or another about Hasan. I really do not lose sleep at night because of Hasan Piker.
You don't want someone saying, "Oh, you didn't watch the full context." That's all it is these days. These defenses.
Even within that context, and the problem is that Hasan has an inconsistency, and this inconsistency is bouncing from present to past tense. And in present tense, he may very well be a criminal, but in past tense, he may have an arguable defense. Let's talk about.
Look again. I don't have a problem with the statement.
And of course, his present
in the past, if he's saying in the past tense, but he didn't. My problem is not having in the present tense, obviously, and stop bringing up Hila Klein. The fuck is she doing? She's got 3 kids, mate. Just looking after her kids and her fucking business.
Or if he intended that Hila Klein was in the past and still remains a valid military target, that is a massive problem. If this was the intention, it's a problem. Because that would likely be criminal terrorist
fucking
threat.
Crazy to say. Like, actually
that is the only
crazy.
Threat law. There are a lot of laws that can involve in that because a terroristic threat usually involves violence, intimidation, and those are violations of state law. Every state.
Now, I don't think he said remains of. I don't think he was talking. If he was talking present tense,
particularly if you are calling upon foreign forces,
that's actually fucked. I don't personally think Hasan was talking.
To target a U.S. citizen.
Well, he was very careful with what he said. He's very careful with what he said. He even still bringing it up in the fact still puts the thought in people's heads, present or not. Even if you're talking about the past,
statutes or imitation terrorism,
you kind of make it present.
And calling for any sort of threat to a U.S.
People can not read between the lines, Hasan.
2001, right, post 9/11, right, laws have changed in that era, and we are well into that era. We're 24 years down that era, so we're well aware.
You watch his live chat. It's the most toxic group of people. It's disgusting. They wouldn't have been thinking about past tense. They would have been thinking, yeah, we need to go get her.
Of that jurisprudence, and that could very well land somebody
his chat's
in jail if
fucking
that sort of threat.
cooked,
However,
bro.
We don't know whether he was making during the present tense, at least we can't say for sure, or the past tense. Because if Hasan intended to say
past tense,
a valid military target in the past, or he intended to say Hila Klein was but is no longer.
He purposely chooses his words to be as like as safe but ambiguous as possible.
A valid military target that is arguably free speech.
Very ambiguous
now, I know
person.
Some people may have a problem with that and may think, okay, well, it's disgusting, it's immoral.
So then he can defend either way. He leaves himself open doors.
But even disgusting things and moral things can technically be free speech. People are free to say things that you disagree with, even vehemently disagree with, even strongly disagree with, even think are disgusting. Those aren't necessarily illegal. And when I say defensible, I mean defensible legally. So if he was brought to court, if the charges were brought up, legally, and this is the intention. The thing is, international law, the thing that he loves to talk about and pretend
legally,
that is arguable and ambiguous every single way. And one of the reasons why a lot of these people like to talk geopolitics
Isn't
is you
no
can argue
shit.
whatever, and there's always going to be something to justify it. If you dig in international law, which I've deeply studied,
Fucking
and done many
idiot.
courses on, you
Fucking
can make up an
loser.
argument right away. And in every modern conflict, every
Hassan
single
is a
modern conflict, you can
loser.
look at the existing on the books.
Hey, you think I'm
international
riding
law,
Hassan's
and say,
dick?
you know what? I can argue this as
I mean,
self-defense, or I can argue this
you
as
think I'm
justified,
a
or I can
Destiny
argue this as
fan
war crime. There's
because I
ability
hate
to argue
Hassan.
every single way.
Destiny
That's
can
so
go
often
fuck
the victor,
himself
or
as
the people
well.
that are perceived as the victor, get to spin
Fuck
that narrative
Hassan
under
and
international law
Destiny.
their way, and that's just how it goes, whether we like it or not. Which is why a lot of people like to talk about this, because they can pull up any argument and just kind of make it that way. But I would give a warning that if you are ever brought up on,
I know somehow
or
Hassan always
UN,
goes
etc.,
2 and
if
2
you're
with
dragged
Destiny
into the tribunal,
nowadays.
please do not hire Hasan Piker to defend you. He is not qualified to defend you at these bodies. Although the thing is about most many of these tribunals,
Oh, we know
is a lot of
that.
times, especially on the state level and the national
I'm
level,
not gonna
they
have
really
fucking
toothless
Hassan
enforcement. They rely
defending
on
me.
self-enforcement or rely on the countries
Holy
to go
shit.
ahead with the criminal enforcement, etc. So they're kind of hard to enforce. But that said, I still wouldn't hire Hasan Piker
Well,
to
why would
defend
you?
you. So what's my conclusion here? My conclusion is Hasan can reasonably argue the statement was in past tense. He can say, hey, look, this was a past tense statement, and therefore he's unlikely to be convicted. That means thrown in jail as a form of terroristic threat.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah, yeah.
guys, on this channel, I call balls and strikes. I don't say, hey, this person's going to jail forever if it's not a situation where it is. And this is simply one where you cannot convict Hasan beyond a reasonable
Yeah,
doubt that
of
was a terrorist
course.
threat. It's
We,
just not
like,
possible.
we're not
However,
dumb.
for those that
I
want to sit out there
wouldn't
and say,
think
oh, but
he'd be
Hasan makes
put
me
in
angry,
jail
there are some
because
other
of this
points that you should
statement.
bring
It's
that
just a
you bring up.
terrible
It is
statement.
possible there could be investigation. Sure, law enforcement could look into
So
it. Law enforcement can also
not
develop a file,
necessary, just
develop
saying.
a overall binder, or what you call a dossier on Hasan Piker, and build up
We
all
do
of
have
these
one
things he's saying
follow-up after
to
this with
concoct
Hasan.
overall a pattern of behavior which displays certain things which may be questionable or problematic. And
Yeah,
if in
you
the
have to
future
give
he
these
makes a
people the
statement
right to
which is
defend
in line
themselves and
with the
speak as
negative
well. I do
interpretation,
believe in that.
then you better believe all of these statements he's made are going to come out. And further, we all know that Hasan Piker was denied his global entry, which is
Yeah.
something that people who go through extensive background checks and stuff
That's
like me have
right.
still can go in and out of the United States as freely as they want, whenever they want, with expedited
100%.
clearance. This is a privilege.
That's
this is
what
not a
you
right. Yes, you get a passport,
waive
which
your
still
right
is a privilege,
to
not a
when
right.
you
But
say
global
these
entry is
things
a privilege
online.
above that privilege of having a passport. It's the privilege of going through the line quickly. Well, this is more than sufficient grounds to continue to deny Hasan privileges
This
like
is
global
what you
entry.
waive your right
And
to.
as much as he wants to have the 5-star LA mansion life and go through everything like a breeze, he's going to have to stand in the line with the plebs, the poor plebs that he normally doesn't have to deal with in LA.
Oh,
He's
legal
going to have to stand in
mindset's
line with them
fine.
because he's not going to be getting strength to both sides of the aisle. Right?
Conclusion. Legal mindset. Hasan can reasonably argue statement. Can reasonably argue statement was in past tense, so unlucky he could be convicted as a form of terroristic threat. However, investigation is possible. Sufficient grounds to continue to deny Hasan privileges like global entry. If careless, future statements may be an issue, all streamers need to move carefully.
Left, center,
Yeah.
whatever you
So
are.
that's it.
Reasonable on the next.
We're going to talk about his response. Let's hear.
Because Ela previously served.
Let's see
and
what
his
this
wife has gotten
fucking
a lot of
Muppet
attention
has to
because
say.
Ela previously served in the IDF, and this also has a
Well, no. She didn't just previously serve in the IDF. She participated in an illegal
He
raid
just can't.
in the West Bank as a part of her service.
It's always got to be the way he wants it to be said. Look, what? Let's start again.
a lot of attention because Ela previously served in the IDF, and this also has a
Well, no. She didn't just previously serve in the IDF. She participated in an
Serving and participating. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he doesn't even know what the fuck she did.
illegal raid in the West
He
Bank.
doesn't even know what
as
she
a
did.
part of her service in the Israeli occupying force.
How can he say this stuff?
And not only is what I'm saying not a
He's a fucking degenerate.
not like a gray area or anything. It's just
but-
international law.
Oh
right?
yeah, international law.
Ethan Klein himself has, on numerous occasions, agreed with that sentiment.
Now
He
this
has
is
actually
a
presented it in his
2-minute
context note,
clip.
talking about his bona
We're
fides
getting all the context.
for how much he is an advocate, a stalwart ally of the Palestinians, as he has said. Ethan Klein has said West Bank settlers are valid military targets. Ethan Klein has admitted that his wife is a terrorist on stream.
Oh yes, he said that she's a terrorist on stream. Yes, Ethan
Were you
Klein
saying if your favorite
says
if your favorite
her,
podcast wife was
his
in Israel
wife
performing illegal war crimes,
was
that
a
they would be
terrorist on
illegal
stream.
target? That's how I
Yes.
understood it. No, I'm saying
So
in the
true.
process of anyone.
He's so
Anyone at
dumb.
all. It could be your mom, your dad.
I'm losing brain
your
cells.
fucking favorite podcaster. Anyone that engages, Okay, because the conversation that I was having was more so about the way that people look at those who adorn the garb, like state violence versus non-state actors,
Mate,
right? Versus
you spend 10 minutes trying to talk about a point, making yourself sound so fucking smart.
any kind of resistance.
Get to the
against
fucking
state violence.
chase, brother.
And what I was
But
trying to
what
do
were
there
you
was to
trying to
say
do?
It doesn't matter who it is that puts on the Israeli occupying force gear and participates in an illegal raid in the West Bank. They are, if they receive violence in retaliation from the occupied force, that is legal. That is a legal
He's a
act of
fucking
resistance.
retard. Anyway, that might have to be it. How long have we been going for? We've covered a lot of things. We've gone through a few things, you know. We've covered quite a lot of stuff. It's been how long? 2 hours? Yeah, about 2 hours. I think I might call it there. I've got to make a VOD clip at some point. I'm busy. I still want to watch this content nuke on Denims. I will be watching that at some point. Hopefully, I might have to do that. Maybe Saturday I'll add a stream in. An extra content slop stream. Because I think it will be a good watch. Because she is just so brain dead. But that's it. For now, let's watch Switch. So, this has been Content Slop on a Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday, Sunday. I pick a few curated things, put it into a document that I want to cover. I was 1 week behind, so not everything that I want to cover, but it is what it is, and we'll get more ahead as the weeks progress. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I might be on later streaming some Bioshock 3. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm getting tired, and I'm